10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In a land not so far away, along the mighty Bow River, there lived a humble angler named Finn. Now Finn wasn't the strongest or the most accurate of casters, but he possessed a prized TNL box, a treasure chest of fly-tying secrets passed down by the river itself. His flies seemed magical, and people came from all around to learn from him. Finn, ever so generous, opened his box and shared its wisdom freely. But one frosty evening, a mysterious wizard appeared, warning Finn to stop sharing his secrets.
If you keep sharing, I will make you and all of your friends face the doors of doom.
The wizard himself hissed, but Finn refused, believing that the river's gifts were meant to be shared. Enraged, the wizard conjured the doors of doom as promised, hiding the prizes behind one door and disappointment behind all the others. The anglers struggled until the day Captain Clutch appeared. He appeared with his magical sticker. The captain unlocked all the doors, proving that generosity and courage always prevail. As the gathering grew, a new figure emerged, Cam, known as the Baking Cam, with trays of the finest pastries this land has ever seen. He brought joy and warmth to the Finns' gatherings, making them unforgettable. Together they formed what is now known as the TNL Fam. And so every Thursday night, the TNL Fam ties flies, unlocks the magic of the TNL box, and shares in the joy of the community.
Finn closed the TNL box and smiled at the circle of wide-eyed children around him.
And that, my little ones,
He said,
is how the TNL Fam began. Now, who's ready to tie some flies?
Now sit down with us as we tie the egg-sucking leech and the Cape McLaren Wet Fly.
It's all I need. It's a good thing coming. Welcome back to another episode of Thursday Night Live Fly Time.
What's up, good people?
What's up, good people? The TNL Fam, as you are known to have called yourself. It's January 9th and it's 7 p.m. and it looks like we got ourselves back into Facebook land.
We did. We were accepted back in.
I know. A lot of people were upset. We were upset. And what it hurt most was the comments. And
Yeah.
somebody said, I didn't buy because they're free, the Flyingo cards. They got the Flyingo cards, but they couldn't comment if they were to win.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
So I think the wizard had something to do with this.
He was playing tricks.
He was playing tricks.
He's a crafty fella.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's one of the favorite parts of the show called Flyingo. So you can win lots of prizes. We got lots of prizes. Tim might even just go through them because last week they weren't won. And so they just kind of go back into the pile this week. As well, we're waiting for our friends at Fish Pond and sending up a package full of gifts and Flyingo prizes for you guys. So we're just going to say that there's gifts from Fish Pond as we don't quite exactly know what's coming. So you win. You just got a Flyingo card. They're free. You go to our website. You download them. I can even type in how to get them in the comments here. And then halftime show, we play Flyingo. It's just like bingo, but it's Flyingo. And there's a little kick to it.
Yeah, you could say that. There's
Or a punch.
a dirty side to the Flyingo.
Dirty side to the Flyingo. Although it's free, it doesn't come without a little bit of agony.
Yeah,
I mean, if you don't want the agony, then you pay.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah, buy a Captain Clutch sticker. And
Yeah,
you can
so
save
why
you.
don't you show everybody what we got for stickers? You can see the flies that are on the screen, the egg sucking leech and the Cape McLaren Wet Fly, which we'll be tying tonight. And we got a nice, beautiful camel hat from our friends at Wolf Creek Anglers. We've got that from our friends at Divine Interventions on the Fly. And we got a bunch of streamers and some hoppers in one of our fly boxes, as well as what Ken didn't win last week is this box full of dry flies, hoppers, streamers, and all the things you need to catch fish. Oh yeah, don't worry about this, because when you put on one of our Bow River camo sun shirts, those flies will become ultra flies, because you will not be seen out on the river. And ultimately, exactly, this is a great segue, but this is a season 7 kit for Thursday Night Live Fly Tying. So what we do here is we tie up a couple patterns every single night. We also, there's a more inclusive, exclusive, I don't even know what it is, but we're just making fly tying easy. We're not a fly shop. We're just an outfitter who loves to tie flies. And most importantly, we want to help you guys learn how to tie flies. So we have the TNL show. You can bring all your own materials. Totally fine. Recipes are all on our website. If you want to buy one of these kits, it really helps the show keep going. And inside of these kits, we have 26 patterns all packaged up into episodes. And in each episode, you're going to pull out 2 different patterns and you're going to tie them along with either the live stream or you're going to go over to YouTube and watch the quick ties, and they're all there. So you're going to be taught how to tie those, and in the packages comes 1 already tied fly and material to tie up to 5 more times. So essentially you're going to get 6 of each pattern times 26 patterns for this entire season. An unbelievable deal, especially if you're American, because the dollar is really strong.
It's not good for us right now, but
It's good for you guys. So $239 Canadian is for that whole kit, and that will last you 3 months. It's not just a fly tying shop night where you come in and you pay $7, $8, $9 and you just leave with nothing. You've got this, and you've got the support of us. You've got the support of the TNL Fam, who's all in here commenting right now. And you're here for a reason. Whether that's the tie flies, win some prizes, or just hang out to the end where we share our wins and enjoy this awesome community of people that we want to know, what are you drinking?
And where are you from?
And where are you from? So write in the comments. That's why they're up on the screen, so you guys can share in the commenting as much as we can. And so Mark would say, hello from Wisconsin, drinking Aquafina, or something along those lines, because you don't always have to be drinking beer. We just need to know where you're from and what are you drinking. And if you're brand new, that's really important, because we have something for you called a round of clicks. And let us know if you're brand new. And we got Nick from South Florida who sent in his photo of a season 7 kit, and looks super great wearing his new sun shirt. And
that's one of the best parts of that kit pack.
The kit, if you go to the VIP package, you're going to get the sun shirt and a bunch of stickers for a very small increase in price. I don't have to convince you about that. It's just, if you want to be a part of the fly tying gang, the TNL Fam, that's how you do it, folks. You can hang out here every single Thursday and just enjoy whatever it is. We've got some education. We're going to be doing some beer 30 here shortly. We have guests. They come up to the studio and they sit on the couch, and every week it's different. Some weeks it's nobody. And this week we have a surprise for you guys.
Ooh, do we ever?
But Brendan from Edmonton, first timer here, looking forward to it. He was messaging earlier about the thread. So
what's up, Brendan?
Something great to talk about in this kit. The egg sucking leech and the Cape McLaren Wet Fly Both could be swinging flies, but most importantly, what thread should everybody get spun up on their spools and ready to go for when we do start tying?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to use the same color tonight, two different threads, just different sizes. So on the Cape McLaren, it's a pretty small fly. It's like a size 12, size 14. So we're going to be using UTC black in 70 denier is what I'm going to use for that one. And then for the egg sucking leech, I'm going to go a little bigger. We need a little beefier thread as we're going to be spinning up some dubbing. And that one I'm going to use black again. I'm just going to be using a 140 denier in UTC.
A
little thicker thread, a little more robust.
Yeah. So comment here is that you have a serious vibe.
I have a serious vibe.
Yeah.
I would like to know what the vibe is.
The vibe is, we'll just call it Montana Fly Shop.
Ah, yeah, good. Yeah.
'Cause if you go to a Montana Fly Shop in the summer, you'll see a Tim times 150,000.
Well, thanks. I like it.
Yeah.
I always wanted to grow hair like this.
Yeah, me too. We got Mr. Pape. He's drinking 4 Roses single barrel bourbon in snowy Baltimore.
Yeah, he's always got great sounding drinks every time.
The legend, Jacques Heroux's in the house. Round of clicks for him every time
what's
the
up?
legend
What's up, Jacques?
graces us with his presence. We are very lucky to have him part of the show since the beginning when we were at the brewery and he came and visited us and he got on, I think, like episode 3 or something. Legendary books. He's got his fly tying books. Check it out, guys. He did give us one to give away a couple years ago, and we did give it away, and I wish I didn't.
I wish we would have kept it.
Yeah, for myself, and it was signed. So Bowden represents Andy and the family
Levi,
of the hillbillies. Trevor's working a night shift night shift.
You need some help?
I need to get
Working
a
the
whistle
night
wet.
shift, yeah.
I need to get a whistle wet.
Berlin
It's
River
more
area.
important that we say hi to you guys.
What's up, Trevor?
Paul D from 9 Mile Falls, Washington, sipping some old smoky salted caramel whiskey.
Oh, man. So distinguished.
My lips are getting real dry. George Norton from Calgary, Alberta. We don't know what he's drinking. We got Ray from Duchess.
From Duchess,
The
Alberta.
Duchess. Down in the Duchess. Bob
Hammerhead
Brooks.
Red Ale.
Sampling a Hammerhead Red Ale from Brewster's Brewing. Yeah. Did anybody get the beers that we're going to be trying tonight to try with us? Because we're going to head over to Beer 30 here shortly once we get finished reading your guys' comments. We got Mr. Mathis from Tulsa, the Burbs.
Ooh.
Wonder if he's the
Burbs.
Tulsa King.
Maybe. That'd be all right.
That's a wonder. Makes a guy wonder.
The King of Tulsa.
And he's drinking iced tea, you know? They don't, drug lords don't drink whiskey or hard stuff.
Gotta keep that mind clear.
Yeah. Terry Souther, Snake
What's
Lake
up,
Brewing.
Terry?
Kinnebick Pilsner on the go
Nice.
here in balmy Sylvan Lake. We had some friends from Sylvan Lake, Snake Lake, Cole, singing on our show during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that time?
That's
That was
right.
fun. We got Struthers from Calgary, Alberta, drinking H2 No, supporting Dry January.
Nice. Good for
Nice. Do you have dry ice in there? Where's the
Really?
buttons?
Where you gotta find you. You can't zing it yourself.
This way.
The search is
Oh,
on.
Where is it?
It's never ready for you.
I see. I
Appropriate, yeah,
burnt
that's good.
myself.
Yeah,
I
you
burnt
did.
myself.
Well
I burn
done.
you most of the time.
You
but
do. I appreciate when you give
This
yourself a little
time
jab here
I'm
and there.
drinking H2O and dry ice for Dry January.
Nice.
Ron Croteau, 2 cubes and a glass of homemade bourbon, kicking back in New Hampshire.
Nice. Sounds good.
We got
too.
Perry down in Lethbridge, Alberta.
up,
Scotty from Littleton, Colorado. Happy 2025. Good to see you again. Danny Ulstrom.
Oh, what's up, Danny? What's up, buddy?
TNL Fam. So there's a bit of a mix-up. Danny got a couple kits.
Oh.
Said he didn't. So we're not really sure what he does at night. Sleep buys, apparently.
Sleep buys.
So I said, send it back. And he said, if anybody is in the Salt Lake area and would like to buy the kit or meet up with him and work out a deal, you save on shipping. And Danny Ulstrom down in Salt Lake City there has an extra TNL kit. So if you're in the area, hit him up. He'll take care of you. And we're not quite sure what happened there.
The sleep buying.
Yeah, the sleep bind gets us every time.
Yeah, it's that Christmas spirit. It just gets you sometimes.
He's like, did I support these guys? I think
Can't
I did.
remember.
I got to get another one. Hey, we got Michael Bart. Good evening from
What's up,
Edmonton.
Mike?
Just poured a SYC.
IPA.
What does that stand for? Some young, cold
Yeah.
IPA.
Nice recovery.
And just guys, and I'm the DJ for tonight. So what I try to do is find the best non-restrictive, non-copyright music, and I sometimes fail.
Yeah. Sometimes. Most of the time it's all right.
I've been doing all right tonight.
You're doing good. Yeah.
But
Give it time.
just want to try give it time, and maybe we do some K-pop.
Ah, there it is.
Okay, I'm changing up the vibe here a little bit.
Oh, the vibes change. You might
Well,
be killing mine, but
That's
okay.
all right. I'm here for me, not for you. All right. If the couch people could stop laughing, you're going to give away your presents. Mrs. Dia, happy 38 years of wedded bliss.
Oh, man.
And that's, it's not a birthday, but
We'll
I
click
mean,
it.
it's like, let's play this. This is what we do if it's your birthday or if it's your anniversary, and it still get the birthday song, but
Get the confetti.
I heard today
Confetti's the
was
best
your
part.
birthday.
happy anniversary to
So
Mr. and
let me
Mrs.
say
Dickow. They
happy
did a cold
birthday.
January wedding way back in the day.
Happy birthday. Hey,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
it's your birthday.
That's how it goes, folks.
Happy birthday.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations to you two. Been putting up with each other for a long time.
My buttons worked finally.
That's great.
Oh, I know
man.
you guys are loving the new tunes. Adrian's in Calgary, and he is drinking leftover apple juice from his supper. That's nice.
That's parenting
Shaggy
vibe.
1958 is Snow Home-ish.
Snohomish.
Washington and
Washington.
Blackberry Crown.
Blackberry Crown.
Mr. Sathers, pouring rain and cold in Houston. No fun drinks tonight.
Ah, can
All
fix
right.
that.
Mike Ritzko got the beers,
up, Mike?
drinking the super saturation at home in Calgary. Augustin's in
What's
the
up,
house.
Eric?
Mr. Crap. Other than Banff, the person who put a P and an F together, it makes it sound like hard. It's hard to say it.
Yeah.
Ritzko only had a couple sips of that until I start sneezing because it's an
Interesting.
IPA probably because Cam can't do that.
Ah.
Eric's drinking a Modelo in Tennessee, and Trevor is SYC pineapple. FOMO is amazing. If you see it, try it. So that's kind
Interesting.
of what Barrett was weird. That SYC that
Yeah.
almost got me in trouble.
Some young.
Some young. All right. Okay, so for a garnish, Cam, I think it needs a slice of orange. Okay, what's really important here is we need to go and check out what's going on the guest couch.
Ooh, let's.
So we're gonna get
find
over
out.
here. Hang with us. We're tying flies tonight. Tim told you what you need: black and black, 140 and 70,
Yeah.
and get those fired up. Get your kits laid out. Get your materials organized. And but first, we have something special. Hopefully, I did this right.
Oh,
It's weird.
that's
It should be like this, actually. Nobody
the
there.
slow reveal.
Yeah, we got a little carried away for the show. So, what we're gonna do slowly but surely is we haven't turned on their mics. We don't want them to give it away, but we're gonna reveal a little bit about these finely tuned athletes.
Look at those guys.
Okay, judging the shape,
You gotta
And the-
guess.
the pure demure of their presence. We can see the super saturation. The beer we're trying tonight is sitting down there somewhere.
Yep.
I'm gonna need some comments. Let us know who you think is on the OQP couch tonight.
Who'd it be? Who'd it
It
be?
looks like there's two of them. One's a little bigger, one's a little smaller, but they both hit the gym a lot, apparently.
We should probably do a little flex off, though, I would think. Well, now I'm confused. I don't even know who's
that
there.
guy needs some collagen because its skin's falling apart. That guy on the left needs some collagen. Guessing Ken and Chaz. Well, that's a good guess,
good
but
guess, good guess.
apparently no. This is not. You're not right. You're either all right or not right. Tree Roy and the roll of dimes. Well, I think it's time to reveal your faces, boys.
Oh, should we see?
It's not Chaz, although this is the large man here.
The slow zip.
Let's just slowly
Just a forehead to start.
reveal your face. Just because we want you to know who it is when we head over to Beer 30. All right. So the
Contestant
first
number
guy,
1, glasses and bald.
Yeah, there we go.
Contestant number 2, also bald.
I think. All right.
All the hairs on his face.
Every time I do this, it reminds me of Dumb and Dumber or
man.
Ace Ventura when
Ace
he's climbing
Ventura,
out of the rhino's
Yeah.
butthole.
Those floating heads are creepy.
Oh, they're good. They're good.
Ah, very nice.
Oh, we don't want to reveal too much, but they're ripped, and maybe we'll say hi, boys.
Hi, boys.
How's it going, team?
So that's
What's up?
Ken. That's Ken floating Ken head,
Roll of dimes. Yeah.
and Tree Roy.
What's up,
and
Tree
Troy?
Roy?
Tree Roy. How do you get that name?
It's where I cast.
Oh, yeah.
It's where you end up casting.
Oh, dude, I find
You're
fish all over
casting.
'em.
Yeah.
Do you guide Cam nonstop then?
Yeah,
Nonstop.
Okay.
he's casting in the river.
He's just
and he
trying
ends up in
all
the
his
tree.
opportunities. They could be anywhere. You never know where trout are.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
Got to get creative sometimes.
And antennas, too. Don't forget.
Oh, man.
Anywhere, even
Yeah.
in the middle of Oman, there's a chance of hitting an erect object.
I'm out.
I'm out. You'll find them all.
Well done, Dana.
All right. All right.
You'll
Okay.
find them all.
Cord or Roy? Roll of dimes. Tree Roy. Tree Roy. Troy's his name. Scooter wants it to be David Hasselhoff. All his dreams were coming true, but no longer is Scooter coming true.
Sorry to
You can probably
disappoint.
pull off David Hasselhoff.
It's-
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
send
forgot to
right
tell
down
you
the
guys
beach.
about the second
Yeah.
part of this where you actually show your real bodies compared to what you have.
What are you talking about?
Well, there's a comment from Carolyn McCutcheon. And that's Ellis is saying, love you. And that's a vote of confidence, Ellis. We're grateful that you showed up to make Dad feel a little special tonight
Yeah.
because
You're special, Dad.
you don't
Hey,
want your
somebody
friends.
loves me.
You don't want to tell your friends who Dad sneaks out to on Thursday.
What's this casting couch all about?
Don't Google it.
Oh, man.
What if we said, hey, Siri,
Yeah. No.
what is a casting couch?
No.
Everybody check your phone.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Hey, Alexa.
Hey, Google, what is a casting couch? Oh, is everybody scrambling?
Volume's getting turned down
Yeah.
left and right.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, folks, what we got to do is we got to head over to Beer 30
Yeah, it's time.
and try some of these great beers that we've
Yeah.
got
Got.
tonight. Super Saturation.
It's Beer 30! Join Dana and Kim as they sip, savor, and sometimes suffer through craft beer adventures.
It's great.
Oh,
love
yeah,
that intro.
folks. So what we do here is we try a beer. And the first beer that we have getting going, we're trying to make this better each and every week, but that's the beer we're going to try.
Super
Saturation from our friends. It's a hazy
It's a hazy.
pale ale. And
Oh, it's easy.
I could probably turn the couch people back on here somewhere. You could see them down there. Oh, they're not.
We are down.
Get out your binoculars.
That's beautiful. Usually there's a write-up in here about this. Super Saturation from Cabin Brewing. And there's no write-up. It just says it contains water, barley, and oats.
Nice. Where is this from? Like where are they at? Located?
I think they're in Calgary.
Oh, in Calgary.
That's a pretty good smell.
Smell. Got to put it in there.
We learned last year we had to give them a chance by pouring them in
Yeah.
a cup.
The bad ones need cups for sure. Got to air them out and pour
See,
well.
I've been told that's the wrong way to pour, though.
Like you're just supposed to dump it and let the head form.
Yeah.
Depends on the beer, actually.
I don't know. I don't drink, so
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, it depends on the beer.
That's an Instagram myth, maybe.
Maybe.
No Guinness and stuff.
There's no myths
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Actually, that's
All
smart.
right.
All right, so we're gonna rank them on a scale of 1 to 5. We have a new ranking system today for you guys because I was bored yesterday or this morning.
I don't know.
Ken's waffling.
great.
I think it's good.
I like it.
It's great. Easy.
Are you usually a dark beer kind of
Maybe
guy?
because
No bite,
I burnt my tongue at supper and the roof of my mouth.
So now you have just asbestos tongue, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me try again.
That's okay.
I
heard-
definitely wouldn't pour it down the drain. I like it.
No. Like in
I've
the
heard in,
summer on the boat when it's hot out.
Yeah, on legal bodies of water.
I don't
can
know what
drink
you
on.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
definitely.
you drink
In
more
the
than
States.
one though?
Yeah, I know Jason
Me?
never had
Yeah.
one of
Oh,
these.
dude, yeah.
Jason never had one of these on my boat. I'm glad.
I
'Cause
heard that in Japanese culture, it's the noise after you drink that shows your satisfaction with the drink itself. So you really gotta like.
Do it.
Yeah, it's good.
And do you have to rub your mustache on the mic?
You do, yeah.
That's
it's,
part
it's
of
all
it?
part of the effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do it again.
Oh, sorry. One more.
Some ASMR.
I trimmed it short this week, guys. It's not working.
You're like a cat scratching to get out.
Yeah. Man, this might be up there in the ratings.
I actually like that. And I'm not a craft beer dude usually.
All right. Well, now's the chance where
Next.
we get a rank. No, we get to rank it.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Next. Tim's in for a party.
That was good.
All right. That's a great beer.
Yeah.
It really was. What am I going to give it?
You
we do
always
it on a
steal my
scale
numbers.
of 1 to 5. You can go first.
I'll
if
go
you
first, so
Want.
we can't steal my number
Okay.
this time. I'm going 4.
4.
Yeah.
If I had a 3.5, I'd go 3.5.
man,
Well,
it's-
here's Tim's 4.
20-inch brown trout on a size 22 midge. A beer we're celebrating with precision and finesse.
Yeah.
That's actually probably one of the best ones that we've had here.
Yeah, that's a
opinion.
good point. I'm going to have to go 4 as well.
Nice.
4 frosted mugs.
4 frosted mugs.
Also a 20-inch brown trout on a size 22 midge. A beer worth celebrating with precision and finesse.
Finesse.
Finesse. What couch people would you give down there?
They have hardly sipped it yet.
Oh no, I had a bunch. I'm actually giving this one a 4 as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
Four's all
I
right.
enjoy this.
All right, Ken.
Can be honest.
I'm going. Is it just 1 to 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you
I'm
can
gonna go
like
with,
1 to 5 and a nipple.
2.5. Let's bump up to 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I
that's
don't
fair.
know.
Everyone has their opinion.
Yeah.
We don't care about yours.
I know.
There's the door, Ken.
All right, Super Saturation from Cabin Brewing got a lot of 4s today, folks. That's a
That's
pretty high score. Easy to drink, hazy pale ale, but really not crazy and not hoppy. Very easy.
Yeah, just like smooth as can be. It reminds me of what was that one we really liked that was
Like
it
people
Caramel?
skills.
No, it was like the one. Remember that?
That
The
German
Pilsner, the Bower
Pilsner.
Brewing.
Yeah,
the-
that's what it is. Yeah, just
was
so easy to drink.
Yeah, this one might be a little easier.
Yeah,
It's great.
I
All right.
remember that one.
So we're going to
gets
take
better.
those off the screen and we're going to switch beers. Next up, we're going to try this one from our new friends down, I believe, in Colorado. Okay, Born Brewing Company.
Nice.
It is crisp and dry premium style lager. Okay, it's best paired with buds and block parties, and it's pretty much what
Yeah,
we're
that's
doing
pretty
right
much
now.
what we're
So
doing.
if
Yeah,
this
yeah.
isn't TNL beer, I don't know what it is. We're gonna try this one, and then we're gonna get to tie in the egg sucking leech. So
Yeah.
you got a chance to go grab yourself a fresh one, get your materials ready.
If you've got your kit, like mine, go to episode 2. In the back, you're going to see 2 patterns in there. One's got a whole lot of dubbing, enough to tie about 50 of these. Now what I want you to do is just go ahead, get all your material and ready to go. There's not very many materials, like literally 2. But yeah, get your bobbins ready and we'll get rocking on it here shortly.
All right, this might be one of your favorites too.
You gave me a midge back.
Oh, well, you
Maybe
gave
it's
it
a 4
to me first. It's best buds and block parties, and I wish I had better music for this moment. So if we could just all hold off.
Yeah, no sips yet.
I will get us better music called Tense Rap.
Tense Rap.
Guys, it's not great. It's not what I wanted. Let's discover Ryan Tilbert.
Ooh, Mike says he really likes this Get Lucky. Tried it, likes it.
Yeah.
All right.
What I liked is they were great. They were great on Instagram, and I was really excited to try this one this year because it's from non-locals, so more people could try this one. It's why we throw it out there so you guys can try it with us. So let's do this. Get Lucky.
All right.
Premium style lager.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Gosh,
man,
that's
we
good.
found them tonight.
Yeah,
this
good.
we're wasting all the good ones in one night.
Yeah.
Well, we have one later. Have you been to Scotland, you man? Wow, that's good beer.
That is really good. That's better than the first one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so smooth.
So smooth.
So nice.
That color right there is what I like. That
And it's
Little
it's
hazy.
it's like a
Light.
little bit of like creaminess. Like the smooth doesn't terrible music selection here
Terrible.
for this epic.
This
It goes
epic-
with your
epic
hair.
beer.
Yeah, that's good.
What's up, Lou? It's good to hear from you, buddy.
Okay, I'm just failing.
Yeah.
But I love the beer. Tim, what are you giving it? I'm going to give it something a little different this time. Not too often I give beers a 5.
Whoa.
But I think I'm going to have to.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I'm going to go first. I
Oh,
would
man.
do 4.5.
Yeah.
But I would also do this because one of my favorite things to do while fishing is a 26-inch brown trout toilet bowling hopper, and I don't miss the hook set.
you do this? Sometimes?
Legendary. No, I'm doing it right now. I'm just saying, if that happened, this would be what it tasted like.
No, I'm the one who misses those hook sets.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
farmed
that's
the
just
crap out of that.
everything. 5-inch fish. Or
It's a
like,
bass hook set. And catch
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tree behind you.
Yeah.
all right, I'm doing a 5 because if I could give the gingerbread lager a 5,
Yeah.
what I can't do is expect anybody to give me a 5 for this music. So
No. Can we all vote on this music?
okay, you got to vote. We got to tie some flies.
-4.
I think I'm with you. I'm like a 4.5, but I think I would round down on this one.
All right, you
So
can
I'm
round
gonna
down.
go 4. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's me giving it a 4 as well. That's a little bit of an error on my part.
Very nice.
Yeah, man, those birds were just pissing me off.
They were
nothing.
It's like Angry Birds and a good time. It's not, don't mix.
This just makes sense. You know, it's clean. We know what it is. You can screenshot this. You can send it to our friends, our new friends at Born Brewing Company.
Yeah.
They can check it out. But that's a great.
I really
Yeah,
like
it is a good.
What are you giving this one?
Yeah, what do
You
you
know what?
Troy?
I would definitely, for sure, a 4.5, but not like Tim. I'm not going to round it down because it's better than the super saturation, so it's got to be a 5.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
it has
like,
to be. Yeah.
They're so close for me.
They're so close. Just different flavors, but both right there could.
So smooth. Both of them
Yeah,
are
I would-
really, really
I
smooth.
would 100%
I would recommend both of these.
get a
all
lot
day.
of these beers.
Yeah, I'd give this one a 4. Like, I would
Nice.
show up to a party with these for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
High praise. High praise.
High praise, guys.
Drive a unicycle across the country to get himself some of this. Get lucky. Well,
Yeah, that's good.
what we got to do, say thanks to some pretty awesome people who helped make this show possible. And when we come back, we're going to be tying up the egg sucking leech. So don't go anywhere. Except if you need to grab a beer.
Or go to the bathroom or whatever.
whatever. You can go somewhere. Just make sure you come back.
Yeah.
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fish Pond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry-first weather resistance to new Nomad net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
And places are all in who you share them with. And it's life. And the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with. And the weeks and the weekends are keeping close who you spend them with. And in time, what you find is the time is who you spend it with.
Love seeing that part.
It's up close and personal. The color,
Yeah, it is.
the color we've chose. The TNL Fam, you guys are sponsors of the show because that's what matters. Everybody who bought a kit, who buys stuff, who helps keep the show going. I just switched music and it didn't work. All right,
It's not
so
your night, but it's gonna. I have faith. It's gonna get better. It'll get better. Don't worry. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to our first pattern of the evening. This is probably a little bit easier than the other one, but we're gonna get you through both these patterns, no problem. So we're gonna start out here with the egg sucking leech. Aren't you gonna talk about this? He's got a part. He's missed out on here, but he's gonna come over and talk
son
about
of
the
a
slide. a little
gun,
bit.
I forgot. I got something cool.
He was so excited about
It's
finding better
called
music.
Getting Buggy with Dana. That's supposed to have better music, but anyways, it's don't have it. All right. Okay, so we're tying here is the egg sucking leech. So I just want to kind of walk you guys through a little bit about the egg sucking leech. It's not really an entomology course because it's a leech, and there's not a lot of complicated things that happen with a leech. But we're going to talk about a couple little things. And I'm going to try to do this for all the flies this year as you guys have asked things like, how do I fish it? What does it do? Whatever. So here I am with a little bit of Getting Buggy with Dana, and then we're going to tie the fly. Good catch there, Tim. All right, so what's up next is the egg sucking leech. A little bit of an overview. It's a hybrid fly that combines the lifelike motion of a leech and the attraction of an egg. And sometimes I don't even think it has anything to do with an egg. I think it just has a little bit of a hot spot. Or, yes, maybe at one point it was an egg sucking leech and that's how it worked. But honestly, we fish this lots and it has nothing to do with the fact that there's a egg on it. It's just a beaded leech. So you do what you want. You decide. It's an extremely effective pattern. People swing it for steelhead, salmon, and they fish it for trout, as what we do here in Alberta. And the egg part of it's especially deadly during spawns when fish are spawning and fish are aggressive and they see that egg. And sometimes if you want to fish downstream of reds, because we don't fish reds, but downstream there's fish there eating eggs. So lots of different ways to imitate eggs, but here's the egg sucking leech. And did you know that the pattern mimics both a predator, the leech, and a food source, the egg, which are both food sources for the fish aforementioned. And the entomology of the egg sucking leech, as I talked about before, is not really a lot of entomology, but It's found in freshwater environments, especially in muddy or silty bottoms. It's highly nutritious and it's a key prey item for fish, particularly in slower moving waters. Okay. The egg presentation, the egg part of it, maybe they don't see the leech and they just see an egg. It's for salmon, steelhead, and trout. You know, their eggs are found and they're irresistible, high in energy, protein. It's a full fish. The egg is a full fish. It's like eating an egg and it's a full chicken. There's a lot of good stuff in there. So they really key in on that. Did you know that the leeches, they're not an insect? Shocking. But they also belong to the class Hyrdinia, which is closer to worms, which gives the way that they kind of swim and are as effective as worms, or maybe even a little more effective sometimes. But that is the entomology of the leech. So why do we love fishing the egg-sucking leech? Well, the old subtle lifelike motion of the leech is very attractive to the fish. The bright high-contrast egg or bead, and it triggers a predatory aggression. The bright egg acts as a beacon in murky water or low light conditions and the movement in the water during streamer fishing. Gosh, it's good. Swing it, dance it, nymph it, streamer fish it, whatever you want to do, just do it. Just fish it. Whatever your theory is on how and why things work, well, that's up to you. So the fishing techniques, as I just talked about, is the peak effectiveness for the egg part of it is during spawning season when fish are aggressively feeding or defending nests, which is the leech part of that, which is them just kind of more of a predatorial strike. Year round for trout in both rivers and still waters. A lot of people troll leeches in lakes, folks. That is probably that, and a chronomid, which we touched on with the midges last week, is probably your go-to lake flies. Muddy waters, bigger leeches. Aggressive strikes after rainfall, murky waters, and cloudy skies. Oh my goodness. Make sure your leeches. You can tie them in all sorts of different colors, which we'll talk about. You can swing them. Okay, you can dead drift them. You can mimic a leech that's caught in the current, and they can't really swim. They just kind of move. You can use short, jerky retrieves to imitate a struggling leech. Just make that leech swim, whatever you do. Or, you know what? Short leash it under an indicator and roll cast it to the bank. That, my friends, is the golden tip of the day that you might want to put in your notebook and take it with you to the river this summer and give it a try. Well, you got the body color being black, olive purple, green, whatever you want to do. You can go nuts. Black and purple is one of my favorite. And that egg color can be whatever color you want. Tonight, we're going to tie it with a red, as you see in the photo there. Pink, chartreuse, orange, glass beads, a lot of different ways to tie it up. They fish very well and they're very easy to tie. So this builds confidence because you tie a fly and you fish it and you catch big fish and you're like, that's it. I am a professional. And then you become a guide. You don't always have to become a guide. So just to kind of finish this off, I just encourage you guys to tie up a bunch of these leeches, and I'm going to come back to this Cape McLaren Wet Fly once we're all done. We're going to get back over to Tim there. And him.
All right, guys, let's talk about how we're going to tie this pattern now. So we got a lot of great information from Dana about this leech, how we're going to fish it, when we're going to fish it, all these great things. Now let's talk about the practical application of tying it. Now, although this looks really big on the screen right now, this is a fairly small leech. I would say probably smaller than I normally fish, but you can fish them in a variety of sizes. We call them a micro leech, up to like a standard size leech or an oversized leech. So there's different sizes to play with here. We're tying this on a size 12 long shank hook. So the actual gap in the hook is only a size 12. So it's not a super big one, but especially let's say if you're nymphing and maybe you don't want to try to manage casting a big heavy leech at the bottom of your rig, maybe you go with something smaller like this, more in the micro leech size, and we do it that way. So I'm going to teach you my style that I like to tie this fly. I think it's extremely effective no matter the materials you're using, because these leeches can be tied with a lot of different materials. But this style is one of our favorite with the dubbing and the combination of the marabou. I think marabou is probably one of the most effective imitations of a leech. There's so much movement that happens in this tail in the water. Obviously right now it's dry, and even still, if you were to like put air across it, it moves a ton. Water does the same thing, and it's just such an incredible pattern. So let's get at it. Hopefully you got your kit open, you're ready to go, you got your threader on your bobbin and ready to rock. So let's get this one out of the vise. Go ahead and get your bead on your hook. Remember that you want to put the small end hole of the bead on the hook first. So the larger back portion, which should be the bigger side, and on these beads it's a little easier to tell because it's flat. That should be facing back down the hook shank, okay? Now let's go on over to our thread. And like I said earlier, I'm tying this one with a UTC 140 in black. It would be totally appropriate to use any other dark color. And thread is a good thing to talk about on all these flies. This one in particular, we're doing a dubbing loop. So you need something a little stronger. You could also go down to nano silk. It could be small. I love tying this fly with nano silk. It's super strong and small. But if we're just using standard thread, we want to use something that's a little heavier, that's not going to break in our dubbing spinner when we do that portion of the fly. Now, color-wise, you also could use a variety of colors. It doesn't have to be black. It could be more matching this. So our materials tonight out of our kits are a brown marabou tail and the reddish colored dubbing. So you could use something that's appropriate to that color. You could also use red. It's not a big deal. But most of our thread is going to be hidden in this pattern. That's why it's not something we're super concerned about. Also, if you have white thread and that's all you have, that's a great option. You can always grab a Sharpie, color the thread just as you go to whip finish, and that's going to match whatever color you want to do. So keep those things in mind as we go throughout this season with your thread. Don't over stress about it. Okay, so we're going to get our thread started. So remembering when I place my thread across my hook, okay, I need to then start taking wraps rearward, covering the tag end, which I'm holding here. So you can see in this right here, I'm covering up over top of that tag end, and what that's doing is securing it. So now if I pulled on either end of this, it's not gonna move. Not gonna move, my vise spins, but it's not gonna actually pull on the thread. Once I have that in that position, I can come in here and trim out my tag end. And now I'm just gonna work back down. If you have a rotary function, you can spin it back down, whatever you prefer. I'm gonna go all the way down to the edge of the bend, but not over it. And on this specific hook that we're tying on tonight, if I were to just let my bobbin hang, it's gonna be right at that barb portion of the hook. Okay, and we're gonna leave it right there. Now we're gonna go over to our marabou. So we're gonna grab a chunk of marabou. You've got some in your kit there, like this. I've cut off the thick stem bottom of it. So I just got rid of, on marabou, you're gonna find there's lots of pieces of it you don't actually use, but this one is where the thick stem portion was. I just cut that off. What I'm focusing on is the front portion or the tip of this marabou. Now, if I come here and I take my fingers and I slide them down that stem so I can stack the tips, traditionally when we tie, even like woolly buggers will do the same kind of thing. You can tell that these are really wispy, but they're very, they're straight and thin, the tips up here. So I want to actually get rid of those tips. Now, if I were to take scissors and just cut straight across right there, it's going to make it way too flat, and that cutoff line is going to look very apparent in the water. Would it work? Probably still, but we have a better way of doing it. So I'm going to get down so I'm just on the tips. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to place them here, and then I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to take that material, press it against my scissors like this, and I'm actually going to break them off. So do my best to do it on this side of the camera, which is tough. I'm going to tear them. I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So I did my first tear. I still have a few stragglers. I'm gonna come in here again, press it against my scissors. I'm trying to roughly tear them so they come off and give me not a straight line across, but I'm looking for something that's gonna more or less, see if I can get this to focus for you, come out like that. Okay, so now I'm getting to use the bushy ends instead of those fine tips. And that's what I wanna do with this fly. Okay, and I recommend with most times we're tying in marabou as a tail that we wanna do that because it just helps make it a little bit more lifelike, and we get a lot more movement out of the material that's just behind the tips. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull my bead, make sure it's sitting up front. I'm gonna measure my tail out here. So
just a quick note.
Yeah.
If you are struggling, or if this seems to go a little fast, we have a feature which is called SOS. So all you got to do is type in SOS in the comments. No matter where we're at, no matter what the time of the fly, nothing matters. You just type SOS. The SOS gets triggered, and we just stop. SOS stands for Stop Our Show. and then ask your question. So you could be doing great, and then you have a question. Stop our show. That's the purpose of the live stream, is to get you guys to be able to ask questions that you have in the moment and that we can answer in real time. So take advantage of that. Hit SOS ever you need it. It's there. I'm always watching as Tim's tying. I'll trigger it. We'll stop the show. We'll answer your question. So feel free to use that whenever you want, all right?
Very good point. Use it at any time. That's what we're here for. The whole point of the show and the live stream is to be interactive. So the more questions you ask, I think the more everybody learns, because likely someone is thinking the same thing you are if it's not being asked, okay? So, as Cam wants it to be done so badly, I like to moisten or wet down, whether you use your fingers, you dip your fingers in your beer, whatever it is. I'm going to moisten that down so that I can kind of see where all the marabou is going to actually come together when it's wet in the water, okay? Now, that's not super even at the end. Don't worry about that at all, because it's all going to just be dancing by the time we're done in the back in the water, okay? I like a longer tail on my leeches, okay? So I'm going to actually try to measure out. I use my hook shank, and throughout the season, you're going to hear a few different ways of measuring material off your hook. So let's quickly talk about that. So I have a hook gap, right? I have a hook gap. From here to here is my hook gap. So sometimes I'll refer to a hook gap in length. Sometimes we refer to an eye length in length, which just refers to the size of the eye of the hook. And sometimes we talk about the overall hook shank length, which is what we're going to do right now. Okay, so those are just ways of measuring. And sometimes we will even say a bead length behind. Those are all just terms we're going to use to try to measure, roughly measure when we're tying flies. So I'm going to bring my marabou back down. I'm going to roughly measure out 1.5 lengths of this overall hook shank length. So I'm here, another half, and I'm going to set it right there. That's where I'm going to mark my tail, okay? So now I'm going to come in with my other hand, my non-bobbin hand, and I'm going to pinch it with my fingers. Now the goal is that I'm going to get this marabou to stay right on top of the hook shank itself and not allow it to spin around. So it's important to get a couple of your starting wraps to be quite tight, and that's again why we're using a heavier thread so we don't break it. Now, if you look at my thread right now, you probably can see that it's uncorded. So we need to cord that thread up so that we can get a nice grab on the hook shank itself. So how do I do that? Simple. All I'm going to do is I'm going to spin my bobbin one way or the other. It's going to, as I spin it, you watch it, cords it right back up. Now I have like one seamless strand of thread to work with. So now I'm going to set it back down. I still have my measurement. I'm going to get my first wrap, my second wrap. I'm still not letting go. I'm going to go a third wrap and a fourth wrap, pulling tight down each time. Now if I let go, I'm going to check. And it's okay if the material comes and encompasses the hook. I just don't want it to spin around the hook, okay? Now what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take a few thread wraps back because I want this to basically be tied in right to that barb on the hook. So am I there yet? Yeah, pretty close. Do one or two more. And we're not concerned about putting too much thread on this fly at all. There's lots of bulk in this fly, so your thread's not an issue. It's not like a smaller fly like the next one we're going to work with. Now, I want to wrap some of this marabou forward. I'm going to use it as a base to the fly. So I come here, I actually grab the tail with my opposite hand. So this is my non-bobbin hand. While I run my bobbin and open spiral back over that material. Again, trying to keep it roughly up on top until I get a little ways behind the bead. Now my goal is to cut this off and leave a little bit of space behind the bead for the next stuff we're going to tie in. So I trimmed it off, and now I'm going to use my thread to lock that material down. And now go crazy with your thread. Really bind that marabou down to the top of the hook shank and get that really good and secure all the way back to that hook bend, to that barb. Okay? Now from here, we're going to learn a technique that if you've been with us in the last couple of years, we've done it lots, but we're going to talk through it again nice and slow so you understand how we're going to make what we call a dubbing loop. On the next fly, we're going to do a dubbing noodle. So it's two different ways of applying dubbing like this, onto our flies, okay? So this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my bobbin, back towards myself, okay? So I've drawn it out a little bit. I'm going to then stick 2 fingers on top of my thread, okay? Now, I'm then going to just continue to fold over like I'm wrapping around my fingers. I'm going to place my thread back on top of my hook shank. So I went, simply pulled back, laid 2 fingers, came over top, placed my thread back on top. And now from this point, I'm not going to continue wrapping. I might just do one over wrap so it's not going to move. And now to bind this together, I'm going to toss my bobbin over top of the loop I created. So I'm tossing it over my fingers twice. And then I'm going to do another securing wrap over top of the hook shank itself. Now this loop isn't going to move up or down. You can see it's tied right in there and I can't move it because I've gone over top of it like so, flipped over top, and I've secured it to the top of the hook shank. If your loop moved forward on you and it's sticking up the hook a little ways, all you got to do is take a few thread wraps back to secure it to where you want the material to start, which is going to be right at the edge of that bend. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my my dubbing spinner tool, which for me I'm using this Loon one that just has a hook on it. Okay, it's pretty simple tool. Most of these are very simple style of tool, and I need to take that tool like this, take that hook, and put it in that loop I created. Okay, and I'm just going to let that hang below me. It's out of sight, out of mind. Okay, now I'm going to take my thread wraps forward all the way up to just behind the bead, and I want this to be kind of like pressing right against that bead. Okay, now we're going to do this lots throughout the season as well. I call it my save button. So anytime I want to save my work, I'm going to do what I call a half hitch. Now a half hitch just means a single overhand knot around the hook shank. So I basically am tying one knot, save my work, and I can set it in my bobbin cradle out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place 2 fingers on top of my thread. I'm going to turn my fingers over so that I'm basically creating that simple granny knot, slip it over the bead, and let it slide down. Now that's just one knot, and I can set my thread. So I have a bobbin cradle, so I have something that'll hold my thread out of the way. Anytime we're working with a dubbing noodle or hackle like we'll do on the next fly, it's advantageous to have a cradle. If you don't have one, it's not the end of the world. But at the same time, it can be advantageous in what we're trying to do. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to be working with my my dubbing noodle now. So you can tell I have 2 strands of thread. So if I get it up here close, you can see there's 2 strands of thread. I'm going to spread them open with my fingers, make sure, yep, there we go, I got it. Now I'm going to set this aside just for a moment because I'm going to go grab my dubbing. Now, like I said before, we've got a lot of dubbing in here, enough to tie a ton of these flies. I'm going to grab off a pinch. That's going to be too much. Now, there's all sorts of different types of dubbing that can be used on this fly. Most of them are pretty applicable. I like this one. It's got some little bit of tinsel and flash in it. It's going to move well and look good in the water. Now, from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start spreading some of it out, kind of pinching and pulling, separating the fibers. And essentially, I'm trying to create a line in my fingers. I'll try to show this to you better, but I just have like a whole line of it. So if I come like this, you can see all I've done is pinched it apart, and I've got this like little strand basically. And because it's dubbing, it likes to stick to itself, so it's not really falling anywhere. So I'm going to go and stick this in between those 2 pieces of thread on my dubbing loop. So I come in here, open up my dubbing loop. So you can see I have my 2 strands open, and I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to set that dubbing, trying to kind of keep it half and half. So half the dubbing's on one side of the loop and half's on the other side. And all I'm going to do is at this point, I'm just going to kind of touch it, even it out where I need to. If I need to pull some through a little bit, perfect. I can guarantee you I've got too much on here, but it's better to have too much than not enough, because then we would have to create a whole nother dubbing loop to continue through. So you can see it just like this. Now, what I've done is I have a little bit of space between my dubbing spinner and my material. On that little blank space, I'm going to place my finger and I'm going to spin it. Get it spinning, keep it spinning. It's going to start to cord up. You see that material starting to spin. Going to keep going. I want that to cord up like a rope. I want it to be pretty tight. But what you're going to notice is it's tightened up a lot. But if I go too much, one of 2 things is going to happen. I'm going to break my thread, or I'm not going to be able to brush this out like I want to because it's going to be too tight. So I need to kind of find that middle ground, and you'll be able to tell if you're pulling on it and it feels too taut. You need to back off a few spins. But right now I'm happy with this. I got a nice little rope. I think that it's going to even out nicely. You can see like this. That's about how tight it is. Now this is where our next little tool comes in handy. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grab. There's many ways or many tools to use this, but honestly, the simplest brush out tool is just a piece of Velcro. This one's kind of designed on a fancy tool like this, but as simple as a tongue depressor.
Mr. Jared Brown made these back in season 1.
Way back when. Just a touch of Velcro on a stick. That's all you need. It's such an effective tool for so many flies. This is just something super easy to make. It's just, like 3M on the back of that Velcro on some type of stick. We're going to come in here and we're going to comb this out. So I don't want to aggressively comb till the material. If I'm like looking at my Velcro and it's covered in material, I'm probably going a little too hard. But I want to definitely pull out some. Like there should be some left on your Velcro. And if there isn't, then I've probably wound it a little too tight because I need to be able to pull it up. I want those fibers to stand up.
It's a question from Ken Hall.
Yeah, Ken. What's up?
Something about during
direction.
Yeah.
Direction doesn't matter which way you spin it at all. As long as it's cordoned up, the direction doesn't matter. Naturally, I'm left-handed, so I kind of naturally spin it counterclockwise. But you just want to spin it in a single direction.
Yeah! The first of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes it takes forever, but hey. Thanks, Ken.
Not today, Ken. All right, so I'm going to work on this a little bit more because I want to get that right down on the whole, because really the important part is we need to get this brushed up where it first makes contact, okay? So that's going to be the first thing in front of that marabou. So don't have to get crazy with it because we're going to comb it again once we get it on the hook shank. But I've brushed it up. It's looking a little fuzzy now, and that's essentially what we're trying to do. Now
I think there's a question from the couch.
Couch? Question?
Is there a reason you brushed it out beforehand? Because I've always wrapped it and then brushed it out after, but this is the first time I've seen this happen.
Yeah, so I don't think you're wrong in not doing it, but in my opinion, when I start to get some of these materials loose before I wrap it on, I believe it evenly spaces things out a little better. If I just wrap that rope on there and then start to brush, it's harder to get the fibers that are on the underside of the loop to come out. Whereas now I've worked all the way around that loop and they've kind of come out everywhere. I think I get a little better flow out of the material. Nitpicking, but it's just my opinion on it.
I like it.
Okay. Now all we got to do, like a hackle, we're going to wrap this forward and we're going to do kind of touching wraps as we move forward. So I'm going to make sure that starts right back there. You kind of got to work around the point of the hook to start with. And don't worry when it goes on, it's going to look rough. This is not the final perfection piece here. So just get wrapping. And like I said, I know for me, I've got too much dubbing on here, but yeah, I'd rather have too much than not enough. And essentially when we get up to the bead, we just want to make sure we have a full wrap. So right now I've left it so I don't have a full wrap up against the bead there. And on this side, you can see I got full coverage. So you got to make sure to always, and this is why a rotating vise is nice, or you got to stick your head around and take a peek at it because you want to make sure you have full coverage everywhere you want. So I know that pulling up vertical on this now, I've got full coverage. I'm going to bring my thread back off my cradle, and I'm going to do, as always, when we secure material, thread wrap behind, thread wrap in front. And you're going to feel those thread wraps kind of slide in behind the bead. You almost feel like a click, and that's how you know that it's locked in there behind. And once I've got a few thread wraps behind and in front, I'm going to lift up on my dubbing noodle, and I'm going to trim it out, like so. And that actually right there, it looks clean, right? It's a rope, but it's cleaned out because I got those securing wraps, and that last little bit of dubbing kind of
just something to be careful about. Some beads, and if you're not using a good enough thread, as you're wrapping them and pulling them in behind the bead, that bead can cut your thread.
Yeah, it's such a bummer when you get to this point because if you break your thread, you basically unwind it all and start this front portion again because you've kind of lost it.
It's a rough place to be. So anyways, make sure you got good thread, strong enough thread, because you can literally rope it up for this.
Yeah.
And just a little thing that I had happen to me a few times. Now you know.
Now you know. Okay, we're almost there, guys. We're going to pull back this material, and now I'm just going to drive some thread wraps in behind that bead, okay? I really want to lay down a good thread base. I don't want to go so much that all of a sudden all I see is black thread. In this fly specifically, we really shouldn't see much thread, okay? It should be kind of sucking in behind that bead, and that's what we're hoping to get out of it. I feel comfortable. I've got a good amount of thread wraps in there. Now I'm going to go to my whip finish tool, okay? We have a video. I think we have a video of this on YouTube too. If you don't know how to use a whip finish tool, they are fairly simple, but at first, the first couple of times, you're gonna feel like if you just have all the wrong fingers in the wrong places. But I'm gonna pull this thread back towards myself. Okay, so I've taken my thread, pulled it back towards myself. I'm gonna first stab in with the hook end. Okay, I'm stabbing the hook in. I'm then wrapping it around the back side of the whip finish, and I'm allowing it to naturally, yeah, I can do it. I'm allowing it to naturally turn and flip on itself. So when I come down, it should look like a 4. Okay, so I can see that my thread's crossed. Now I just slide the loose end thread, which is my bobbin hand, down to the bead, and I make wraps. And I'm gonna do 3 or 4 turn whip finish. Now I'm gonna let it slip off the back end, not the hook end. And then this hook gives you lots of control when you come right down to the bead, and then I can slip it out. Pull that tight, make sure it's good and tight. I'm just gonna repeat the process. Stab, fold, bend, wrap 3 to 4 times. Slip it off, and slip it off. Now the reason I'm doing 2 here, and sometimes you'll hear 2 or 3 times you'll do it or whatever. A lot of flies you'll see for me, if I'm gonna put resin on it, I'm not super concerned with going crazy with my knots because I know I'm putting resin on it. There's nothing wrong with putting resin on this fly, but in my opinion, on this specific dubbing, if I put resin in there, it's gonna make that head hard, and some of that dubbing's gonna get caught in it. So I like to do a couple of whip finishes because I don't plan on putting resin on this specific fly.
Also note, if you do put resin, how do you cure it?
Well, it depends on how what kind of resin you're using. If you're using, let's
UV
say like
resin.
UV resin, you have to cure it with a UV light. Okay,
so Sally Hansen is good if you take like a bodkin.
Yep, Sally Hansen.
Just tap it in
wrong
there.
with that. I use a lot of that.
Couple good knots, you'll be good. Paul D asked a question. Do we brush the same direction as we spin?
We brush the same direction. No, so my brushing isn't like a one direction brush. Really?
Boom.
Really? Got me.
But it's a serious question.
But I'm going to come in. So when I'm brushing, I'm not like petting, right? I'm not doing like this. I'm actually scrubbing. So I say brushing, but I mean scrubbing. I'm going back and forth. And you'll see what I do in this next portion here. I'm going to work the material out, and then I'll brush it in one simple... I can't even... there's no other words. There's no words but one direction.
That's why it's so good.
So yes, one direction. I'm gonna brush it that way. But when I'm scrubbing up that rope, I'm scrubbing, not brushing necessarily in one direction. So now I've got my 2 knots in there. I'm comfortable with it. I'm gonna come in here and snip out my thread. I'm gonna set my bobbin aside. Now I'm gonna come in here with my brush again. I'm actually gonna start brushing forward, working that material up. I actually don't like that one as much. This one is good. I'm gonna spin this around. I'm gonna get up underneath it, and I'm kind of brushing it all towards the head at first, and kind of scrubbing a bit too, scrubbing, pulling up some of that material all the way around. Try not to miss any spots. And once I get that material to stand up quite a bit, so it's looking kind of funky like this.
What's wet on there?
What's that?
What's wet on there?
Well, I don't know. What do you mean?
Look at it.
I don't know.
Like there's like wet bubbles.
I don't know. Nothing that I know of. Now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to brush it rearward only. Okay? This is where we're going to start to form the fly of what we're going to see in the water. And if you missed a spot around the edge, you're going to start to see. And you kind of got to work around that hook point for sure. But you're working at combing and brushing rearward. And this is where the fly finally takes its shape. Just like that. Like combing your hair.
Ritzko had a good comment. Just regular glue and then put it on and whip finish it into the behind the bead.
And you can also like before you whip finish, like you could dab the glue, or you can actually put resin right on your thread and then do it as well. That's good ways of doing it. But that, guys, is our egg sucking leech. Hopefully at the end, that's what it's gonna look like. It takes a lot of pieces to kind of bring it together, but this one specifically, without giving out too much information, you should tie a lot of them. You should fish them often.
Yeah, like an old short leash. You can tie it as a hopper dropper if you want.
Yep. We do it all with these bugs on our water systems. I've never found a piece of water that a leech doesn't work. Yeah.
Or work really well.
Work really well, especially tailwaters, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, The good thing about the show is it's only half over. We've got
Yeah.
Flyingo. We've got Doors of Dooms, maybe. You got your free Flyingo card. That would be great. And the other thing is we have another fly to tie, the Cape McLaren. This one, folks, could be a little risky.
Yeah, I mean, don't expect your first one to be great.
Yeah, and by that he means the first one on tonight's show. So
No.
we also got one more beer 30. We have another beer to try out here tonight.
How is your mug so full again?
Right here.
He talked to the proper people.
These guys.
They're
All right, guys,
providing.
we're going to play some Flyingo. What does that mean? Well, you got to head over to our website, www.flyfishingbowiver.com. Let me just type it in here, www.fly. I've typed it in a few times.
Yeah, if you don't have your card, go there. It's very simple. It's gonna. If you follow this link here, it's
You
gonna
get your
pop
free
right up.
Flyingo card. You just got to put in your email and you'll get it. And you can play for free and you can win all these prizes that we talked about. Each week this week's probably like $1,000 in prizes. That's what we do here. We give away a lot of things because we've got awesome people like you guys who donate to the show, sponsors who help make this happen, and most importantly, the TNL Fam, when you buy your kits and you show up and you watch. But most importantly, for right now, what I need you to do is go share this on all of your pages. Get more friends in here because that's what we need is to grow the TNL Fam. And just looking for this scene here. You'll see at the end of this little ad space here what the TNL Fam is. If you have a Season 7 kit, send in your photo. Some of you have. It just kind of missed the roll call for this week to add it into the commercial here, but this is kind of what we do. High Drift Boats, Fish Pond, the TNL Fam, Fly Fishing Bowiver Outfitters. Let's just say a little thanks to them. When we come back, we're going to play Flyingo. So make sure your cards are ready. All of them. All the fake emails that you've set up to get more cards. Make sure that you have them ready.
Let's go.
Have them ready.
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fish Pond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry first weather resistance to new Nomad net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
And places are all in who you share them with. And it's life. And the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with. And the weeks and the weekends are keeping close who you spending with. And in time, what you find is the time is who you spend it with.
Oh, there we are. Flyingo. Have you guys
First
ever
folk
experienced
calls
this?
right there. Did you win it in 4? Looks like the couch folk are playing along. Ken, can you win twice? We don't know, but you might as well try because it's happened before.
You can lose twice. That's a fact.
Uno lano.
One line anywhere, guys. Any direction, anywhere. Now, there's a few rules in Flyingo, not a lot, but there's a few. When you win, if you win, you got to put what your call is. You need your card ID.
Yeah. So you see right there beside them, it says call 4. So if you were to win right now, you'd say call 4.
Call 4.
Because you couldn't win on call 3 because you need at least 4. Maybe it's 5 now. It's a 5?
Is it 5? 5, yeah.
Well, I tricked you guys all because I thought I was going to be fancy. We'll get you the poacher. We're still live. We're just waiting for you guys.
Waiting for somebody to win on the Impossible 5. Yeah. So we got the poacher, we got the egg sucking leech from tonight, the mole midge from last week, Mr. Peanut Hopper, and the mop sculpin. A few more coming up this season.
These guys, I don't know where to put them.
How's it look there, Ken? Not good? Need to. All right.
I'll let you guys have a microphone at least. You're messing up the symmetry of my scene. I don't know where to put you. Anyways, you got one line anywhere. That is straight across, straight down, X, one half, X, other half, bottom, top, whatever it is. It's a line. And you just got to write it in there. We just wait. We just give it a bit of time. Maybe I gave it too much time, but the Dancing Ricky Stonefly, which is in a couple weeks, is about to win somebody Flyingo.
I like that pattern. That's going to be a good one.
That's going to be great.
Do you understand the build up to winning this? Like last week.
No, I've never played.
Man, it's like the first time of anything.
I should get a Flyingo.
And then it was so disappointing. Like the first time.
Why didn't you buy a?
I just tried to buy one,
Clutch?
but my card wasn't saved online, and I don't have my wallet in here. So
well, IOUs were good. $50 cash, cold hard. Stickers are right there. They're right there. You just have to let me know you were down to buy one. Travis, you're late, but you're not too late because we haven't got too far. Bingo. Trevor McPhee all the way up. He's at work right now.
Drinking coffee at work.
And he's winning.
He should be getting getting lucky.
Double pay.
Yeah.
Bingo call 6, card 37.
Trevor, I don't remember if you have a Captain Clutch sticker.
Let's find out.
Let me check it.
I was just going to get a bingo card.
McPhee. No, he's Scottish. He's cheap like me.
Travis, good evening. I love that guy.
Beauty human.
Oh, looks like we got a few more Captain Clutch stickers gone out the door tonight. I'm glad I checked. Oh, what does it say? Why, oh, why Trevor didn't...
He didn't do it?
He didn't.
Oh, man.
He didn't. Trevor didn't.
Kenny even
Although
told his story.
he is a proud recipient of the Season 7 VIP flying kit. So for that, we are gracious. And gosh darn it, he didn't.
That's okay. You get to play the odds. Let's see.
I just love this organ music.
Do you?
At a hockey game in the 60s.
Yeah. Or church. Spent a lot of time there.
I was going to say, I've never heard this one in church.
No, really? Not that one.
Oh, there he is.
Who's that? Who is that guy?
Everybody waits for the moment that the captain is nothing but a feeble creature. I hope I closed the doors so they don't open up and show everybody what's going on.
That would be pretty
looks
silly.
like all the doors are closed.
Oh boy.
And
What did you fail on last
oh
week,
my
Ken?
goodness, Trevor didn't. I love. See, Travis likes the music too. How about the couch people? Music's better now. I don't know.
That wasn't what you were expecting.
No, there was a better one. Where is it? No.
It was way creepier last week.
Yeah. Where is it?
Mr. Novlin.
No.
Nope, that ain't it.
Where is it?
Dude.
Oh my goodness! I think it ruined.
We wrecked it.
And killed it.
Nope, that's just his regular voice.
That's just me. That's it.
That's
it's just
it.
the fact that it was red.
It was just red.
made
She
it
had it.
so good.
She
You
did.
guys made it crap. Well, I can fix that so easy. Just watch this. Watch this.
I'm watching.
Try it again.
Hello. 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 Oh, you meant listen
to this.
My name's Steve.
Oh, hey,
Can't
Steve.
watch music. Got the minion
See, I
crew.
can do it on the fly. All right, has Trevor got to go with door number 3?
Trevor, where were you last week?
If you win.
Yeah, if you win, Ken's pissed.
All right, Trevor.
Punch.
Tim sounds like Elmo. It's
Come
the
on.
voice of the captain.
Yeah, this is really.
Yeah,
Oh.
strong and courageous like the wizard.
This
Monkey,
doesn't sound right.
organ, pipe, grinding buttes. Oh, Aaron.
Monkey,
Bearded
organ, pipe
nipples
grinder beats.
are gonna make a return. We need to put a DeLorean behind one of those doors so we can book trips for 2020.
Oh, he knows what he's talking about.
Ah, poor Ken. Poor Ken.
That's gotta be the comment of the year.
Oh, man.
He's not wrong.
Oh, man.
Troy, talk.
All right,
I'm
Trevor.
talking.
You
What
gotta
is
go
that?
with door number 3.
Troy.
What?
It sounds less creepy with him, though.
All right,
Glad I'm sitting beside you.
Troy. Trevor, we need to hear door number 3. You need to confirm it. Confirm door 3, and I will open it for you.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Hopefully you get the DeLorean. I gotta put a DeLorean in here. I gotta put a DeLorean.
Stay with your heart, Trevor. Door 3. Go with door 3.
Door 3.
I'm not throwing up my usual gang signs this week because I almost lost a friend last week.
This rethink your guess stuff is just.
Trevor.
3.
Trevor. Door 3.
door
Please
3.
confirm. Door number 3.
Let's see.
Let's see what's behind door number 9. Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. Now your odds just got a little better. Let's see what's behind door number 1.
The door's broke.
It's broke.
That's the winning door.
It's locked.
Door. That's the.
No,
That's
thank you.
locked.
Somebody get the key.
Where's door number 1? Why won't it open? Okay, guys, it'll never be door number 1.
Yeah.
Why is it? Where is it? What is happening? The doors are broke. Okay, door number 2. It's also broke. Door number 3. It won't open. Oh my goodness.
There's no winning behind that.
Door
Tim
number
sounds like he
3.
can kick him in. Hello?
I can't open any of the doors. Why?
Come
It
on.
won't open.
Clickety click.
I don't know how to open
Clickety
it.
click.
Are we even live anymore?
This
Why,
proves that we're
guys?
definitely live.
All right, I can open all the doors.
But why did 9 open?
No!
9 broke it.
Number 9. Oh, no!
Boy! Let's
Oh
try
my
again.
goodness. All doors.
Hey,
Oh!
what's up? And there's nothing behind any door.
No winner there anywhere.
They're on to us.
Yay, number 3.
Oh my goodness.
They're gonna think we're a scam.
Oh, shoot.
We might just have to give it to them.
What is what is happening?
We've been exposed.
Oh. All right.
Well, that's awkward.
Okay, let's go back, Trevor. Are you sure you want door number 3?
Because it won't open. What about 9? 9 looked pretty good.
Oh, try number 9, it opens.
More beer.
Oh, why is this always so funny?
You can't get anything right.
I can't.
He puts a pink wig on and he falls apart. The music sucks. Everything.
He's just fired. This guy's out. Okay, Trevor's definitely married to 3. All right.
We'll try next week.
Yeah, get your trip for 2024.
Yeah.
Sorry, Trevor.
Try door
Time's up.
6.
We have to go on to our next segment.
Maybe I'll try another fly.
Anyways, this was fun. Next fly.
You were supposed to pick door number 9.
You had one job, Trevor.
I was like this,
And
door
upside
9.
down 6, you had it.
Okay, let's try door number 1.
Don't mess it up. Door 3.
Oh, that's good.
There's no
You're
third
pushing
chance.
your luck.
Okay. What
Are you
about?
sure? Let's go door number 2.
You're pushing your luck.
Oh,
Door number 2 is nothing.
no-goes.
Trevor gets the couch. That's always an option.
Oh,
Guys
3.
have figured it out.
3?
Gary Durfee had the answer. I had to close door number 9 to get the other ones open. This get lucky beer is just acid.
This is not good for you.
Door number 4 is nothing.
Did you change them?
I don't even remember being here. Nope. Door number 6 is nope.
You don't even get a float trip from last year? That's a ripoff.
What a ripoff.
At least last week I got something.
At least I got a trip from last time.
Trevor finally gets bingo and it breaks.
Trevor, it's my fault.
Hey, I've been delaying the inevitable. I don't want to do this, but behind door number 3.
Let's see it.
Oh no. It's the winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
I hate my life.
We got it.
I despise all of this. The game sucks. Trevor sucks. Ken
Guy who
sucks.
changes the doors.
The doors. I never even changed
It's
the
been number
door.
3 for 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, it was number 3 last week.
And the
10
week
out of this.
before.
And you chose number 6, you loser.
Hey.
Better luck with your DeLorean.
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fish Pond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry-first weather resistance to new Nomad net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
And places are all in who you share them with. And it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with. And the weeks
sip, savor, and sometimes suffer through craft beer adventures.
That's going to be gross.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Why is our ranking still on there?
Oh,
Because it's not going to be that after this one, I'm sure.
Absolutely not.
oh.
The music
Absolutely not.
music went right down.
That's actually nice.
Everybody's funny.
It's funny because we don't have to control the music. He's got a tough job, guys.
where
We're hard on him,
I don't
but
know where it went.
he's got a tough job.
Right there.
There
There it is. All right, beer 30. We got one more beer to try before we get on to the final fly. Oh my goodness. I get so rattled.
Just
Negative
Needless to
2
say.
based on the color.
yeah.
I get so rattled with the
We
Doors
should,
of Doom.
we should give some prizes to whoever told you to close door number 9.
That's Gary. Yep, it's just the little things. I never expect anyone to win. Trevor, you've got you got a lot of prizes. You got a season 7 kit. I don't know. You gonna tie all those flies? You're gonna give it away to somebody who's never tied them? We don't know what you're gonna do, but we do know what we're gonna do. We're gonna try from Russell Brewing Co. a wee bit, or as Ken likes to announce it.
A wee bit of Scotch, angry Scotch ale.
Yes, there it is. So it's going to be a little dark and probably not
Good.
Let me give you a tidbit of information on this.
Feed me.
I went into Alberta Beer Exchange to pick this up. They haven't had it since last March.
What?
1 year, and nobody has requested this beer. This is going to be a straight gut punch.
Maybe the-
Absolutely disgusting, this beer, I think. So I'm only pouring myself a wee bit, and I need a puke bucket right away.
I think that's why it's called a wee bit Scotch. You just pour a wee bit.
I think it's called Angry Scotch because they're angry when they find out they got to pay for this crap.
It's just the sipping beer. Does it sound
Doesn't
smell
even
terrible?
smell
It's going
good.
to take me a year to get through this little bit
This
in the
one
glass.
doesn't smell bad,
You
actually.
poured a thick one over here.
Whoa.
A wee bit. All right, we're going to give it a try. We're going to rate it, and we're going to get on to the Cape McLaren Wet Fly, and we're going to be out here before 9 o'clock. Trust me.
Should have the
Don't
bagpipes
trust
going
me.
for this one.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, guys, how do I do
Where's
that?
the bagpipes, Dana?
I'm doing everything I can, and you guys are over here
Stop
now.
being so hard on him.
Did you see that?
It
That was
tried to
magic.
jump right out. It doesn't even want to be in the glass.
It was trying to dye your hair for you.
I cannot see out of that eye, so sometimes I hit the things. Okay.
All right. All right.
Ugh.
Have you sipped it yet?
No, I'm
No, I'm not
regretting
going
life
to.
choices right now.
Not gone to. That's a,
Is this a bagpipe?
But
no.
Oh,
close though, eh? Not bad.
Pretty close though, eh?
oh,
I mean,
don't do
it's
it, Kent. Oh,
Are you shocked? Is it good? Is it bad?
It's a good song, though. All right, here we go.
All right, let's go for it. 3, 2, 1.
It's like a Charleston chew.
that aftertaste is.
It's not bad
That's
at
not
all.
bad at all. What
That's
were you talking
really
about?
Good.
That's actually not bad at all. That's really
Yeah, but you burnt your mouth, Dana. It doesn't count.
No, it's
We've
as
got a
dark.
different one though.
yeah, that's a problem.
We
They,
just got
they lied to you.
This one's good.
Oh,
That's a really good beer.
that's not a really good beer here.
The one that we're supposed to be trying, but they got the wrong one,
because they didn't have it.
is a wee angry Scotch ale from Russell Brewing. It's very nice. Like
Well, it's much darker.
hints of caramel. I don't know all the things. Maybe I'll read it. Doesn't say anything.
No.
Still no?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Really? That's a good dark beer.
It's feast.
Yeah, I'm shocked by this one. I actually was
Why would
really
I want
expecting
that
to hate
beer?
it.
See, Mike Ritzko had the same issue.
Oh,
Looking for that.
It smells like some powdered alcohol when you're going out. I'm trying to think. It's
No.
like Zambuca.
I'm just like thinking of like comparing against like Guinness or something. It's just really this one's the easiest
yeah.
dark beer
Yeah.
to drink. Some of the ones we've tried are just not my thing.
At
But
a
this one's-
pub, you would order that.
Well, I mean, don't get out go crazy on me.
No, but you know what I'm going to give it, guys? I'm going to give it this one right here.
It's a 3. Yep.
you're 3.
That's
in
what
it?
A
that's
solid day nymphing. Reliable and enjoyable, but nothing epic.
I'm throwing it a 1.
so just because I want you all to see a number 1, I'm gonna take I'm a 3, but I'm taking Troy's vote so you can see the tagline.
All right.
Let's see it. What's
this
one
is
beer?
Troy's vote is a 1. Euro nymphing. You drank it, but you'll never tell a soul you did.
Best one yet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Love it.
That's awesome.
Pogoing doesn't count.
You know, solid 3. Like, if I just want to get out and catch some fish.
What is 3 solid? Yeah, I would definitely like. It's not a bad beer.
No, I mean it's not gonna. It's like a.
I'm not gonna seek it out, but
I think
would drink it.
I think it pairs well with a Cape McLaren Wet Fly.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And that Cape McLaren Wet Fly is not the egg sucking leech, but apparently my video reset, so I'm gonna have to review. This is the bagpipes we got in the background. So if you're into bagpipes, this isn't for you. Why did it not show up as bagpipes?
I don't know.
What did you type in?
Bagpipes.
This ain't
literally bagpipes. All right. Time to be serious, folks. We're going to tie up the Cape McLaren Wet Fly. And I'm Dana, and I'm your host of Getting Buggy with Dana. And on this segment, we're going to go all over the Cape McLaren Wet Fly. What is it? Why would you fish it? How to fish it? And most likely, when would you fish it? So that's the Cape McLaren Wet Fly, and it looks a little something like this. It's going to be tricky to tie, but it's definitely not tricky to fish because there's lots of different ways that you can fish it. But let's get into that. So the Cape McLaren Wet Fly. Oh, it's the laughing and stuff. So to mute these other guys. It was developed in the 1930s by a Scottish, so that's why we're drinking this with that, right? It kind of pairs nicely, but it's a Scottish fly tyer named William Robertson, and it's named after Kay McLaren, the wife of a prominent angler who inspired its creation. It's designed for wild brown trout fishing in the lochs of Scotland, and the fly quickly gained popularity for its effectiveness and its adaptability, which is why it's easy to fish. Did you know that despite being nearly a century old, the Cape McLaren is still widely used worldwide, and this is a testament to its timeless design. So when you tie it, don't have to make it look pretty, folks, because this fly is going to be swinging in the water, and the hackle and the movement and such like that is what's going to make this fly impeccable. So a little entomology of the Cape McLaren, depending on what you think the Cape McLaren is. So it mimics a variety of prey, including emerging insects, small bait fish, and drowned terrestrials. Sounds like it covers all the flies for me. Maybe this is just the one fly fits all sizes of fishing, right? The material magic. So there's the bushy hackle that we've got a couple different ones on there, and it creates a lot of lifelike swimming, pulsating movements in the water. And did you know that the Cape McLaren design is not tied to one specific prey, making it an excellent generalist attractor fly, which is why it's easy to fish, because you don't really need to know what's going on. You just got to tie it on and give it a swing through a pool and see what happens. Why it works, just like we talked about, it combines the movement, the silhouette, and a natural sheen to attract fish. It works equally as well in lochs, lakes, and rivers, and it's effective during hatches of mayflies, caddisflies, and midges, or as just a general searching pattern. And why the aforementioned 3 mayflies, caddis, and midges, as it is somewhat of an emerging fly. So great way to just kind of swing it through a pot of dorsaline fish. A very great way to catch some of those fish out of there is to swing it through there just like that. The way to fish it, like I said, it's best during insect hatches or when fish are feeding near the surface. If you see dorsaline fish but you don't see their mouth, something like this is telling you that they're maybe eating on emergers. So try something other than a dry fly. It's effective in both calm and slightly choppy water conditions as those bugs are skidding across the water column to get out of the river to turn into their adult lifestyle where they're just going to find another someone and mate in that 24 hours that they live outside of the water. So you could fish it as a part of a team of wet flies on a cast. You can retrieve it slowly. You can use figure eight motions, especially if you're in a lake, and whatever you want to do to emerge, to imitate that emerging insect. You can use a floating, this is the pro tip, or an intermediate line to control the depth based on the water conditions, meaning lakes, you might want to fish a little bit deeper. Heavier rivers, you get it on like a sink tip or something, and it gets just down in the water column a little better than if you were to use a floating line. So instead of having weight, your fly line is the weight that gets this fly down. So the traditional is what you see here. You can change up your hackle, you can change up the body color, whatever you want to do, and more so because of the application that you're using this fly in. And add a bead head, add some split shot, or just use some sort of sinking line. Helps get the fly down. Be creative with a fly like this, as it is an attractor pattern, and it's a searching pattern. So it's not exactly like the bugs you think it is. It's just something to stimulate a response of fish. Scotland, originally designed for loch fishing targeting wild brown trout. The UK and Ireland, widely used for trout and salmon in still waters and rivers. And in North America, it's gaining popularity for trout in mountain streams, lakes, and tailwaters. What a global appeal it has, because its versatility ensures that it is effective across diverse waters and for a lot of different species. Your materials are meant to be experimented with, so please do something like that. All right. Out of breath. I don't know why I talk so fast, but here's Tim.
All right, guys, let's get into this. So this bug. Oh, I got you. Yeah, I got you good. Oh, can't quite see it. There we go, gotcha. Let's. I worked too hard for that one. I'm gonna get one in here so you can see it up close. So this pattern, don't be discouraged by it. It is small, but we're tying it in a size 14 tonight. This is very small for a swinging fly, but the positive to a smaller version of this fly is that it is like Dana said, it could be imitating bugs, not necessarily bait fish in the water. Okay, so that's a very, very cool part of tying this a little smaller. If you tied it on like a size 1 hook, then you're more or less imitating a bait fish. Also, got to give a big shout out to this guy. And I've been reading your comments as he's been talking. People are loving this stuff, and I agree. I think this is a great idea. He works tirelessly to make things more informative for you guys and to try to gather more information. And I think the backstory to these flies and why we're tying them, why we think they're a good fit, and why we have them in each of our seasons is such an important thing. So this is great information. Take it and use it. I saw one more comment in there. I think it was from Adrian. He's talking about sinking lines, ? Yeah, think about this. So like Dana said, you've got a pot of fish, or maybe you've got a riffle that you're like, there's got to be fish in here. Why wouldn't you put it on a streamer line, and why wouldn't you swing it through there and see what happens? Right? Bugs move, and small minnows move, and things that we can't always see or interpret necessarily. But a bug like this is capturing so many different things at once. And like he said, it's an attractor pattern. And that's the beauty part. But I would just say, when you read something about a fly and you hear attractor, try it, because there's so many things that it can imitate, and you're getting to cover more than just tying a size 22 midge, zebra midge, and putting it on. This is encapsulating a whole lot of things. Okay, I'll leave it there. Let's get on to this pattern. So let's get this fly out of the vise. Let's get our next hook in here. Don't be discouraged, guys, in the size of this one and a little bit of complexity. This fly may totally blow apart on me. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. My first few tries at this fly were not, in my opinion, fantastic. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to how hackle sits. And on this specific pattern, it's just a tough one when you're tying it in this size, because not necessarily does that hackle want to cooperate and sit where we want it to sit. But we're gonna do our best to show you how this should turn out, okay? So like we said earlier, I'm coming in here with my UTC and I'm going smaller. I'm 70 now, in black as well. And this one, we do want to conserve our thread wraps a little bit. We don't have to be over concerned because when we come back up the fly, we are gonna put a lot of dubbing on here as well. Not a lot, but we're gonna put dubbing and it's gonna create the body of the fly. So we don't have to be super concerned about conserving them. We just don't need to overdo it. So that's why we're going with a little smaller thread. Now I'm gonna give myself, as we talked earlier, an eye length of distance behind the eye is where I'm gonna start my thread on this one. I'm gonna bring it back. A little trick with this thread, if it's smaller or lighter, you should be able to grab on it and break it and just like tear it off the hook. That works as well. I'm gonna give it a snip, but keep in mind when you're working with smaller thread and you're working, maybe you're tying a whole bunch of these and you want them to go by quickly. All these little tips and tricks will kind of help you get through that. I'm gonna take my thread all the way back. Similar to the last fly, we're gonna go right to the edge of the bend. I want it to lay so it's basically right at the barb. I don't wanna go way down in here on the bend because it's gonna be difficult to hold our first material where we want it. I want that first material to come right off the back of the hook bend. So right at that, that barb out of our kits, that's gonna be the key. The first material is we're using a golden pheasant neck feather, okay? It's gonna look, you're gonna have a few in your kit if you're looking at them. It doesn't necessarily have to be this if it's a yellow saddle hackle or something like that. It's gonna work just the same. The kind of the thing they're trying to accomplish in this pattern is that the curve sits up, and this is a very traditional salmon fly, swinging fly type thing. But on this pattern, tying it small, that tail isn't gonna keep that angle. It's gonna end up pretty much straight out the back of the fly, so don't be too concerned with that. Eventually, we're gonna want this tail to be roughly a hook shank in length out the back, but I'm gonna adjust that. I'm gonna tie it in long, and then I'll pull it to where I want it. So I'm gonna switch hands, come over to my non-dominant hand. I'm gonna get a thread wrap. Again, as we talked about last week, a little trick to capturing your first material. For me, I'm a left-handed tyer. I'm gonna spin that bobbin clockwise. For you, if you're a right-hand tyer, spin it counterclockwise. Now watch my first wrap. That thread wants to jump rearward, and that's what I want. I want it to jump back and not away from where I'm making my thread wrap. I'm gonna take a couple thread wraps to get it kind of started and set down. Now, I want it to be right up on top of the hook shank, so I'm gonna maneuver it a little bit, take a couple more, and now I'm gonna take a little tug on the tag end of this, and I'm gonna pull it into position. I'll pull it back till I've got roughly that hook shank in length out the back. I'm happy with that. Take a couple more a couple more wraps across the hook shank itself, moving forward. Then I'm gonna lift up my tag end, and I want to leave that room up at the eye the whole time on this fly, and that's just for that front hackle, which is a little bit of probably the most finicky one. So I'm gonna trim it off a little short so it ends roughly where my thread did. I'm gonna get that bound down with some thread wraps, and then I'm gonna work my way back to my tie-in point. Now here, what I want you to do is I want you to drive a thread.
Definitely got some Christmas music here.
Really? Oh yeah. Look at you go. Nice. I'm gonna drive a thread wrap underneath the back of that tail. And what that's gonna do is hopefully help prop it up. So I'm gonna lift up that tail, drive a thread wrap underneath it, give it a little tug, and then complete with another wrap on top. And that should help prop it up a little bit. Not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna help. As you can see, I've got that nice angle that they kind of want in this pattern. Now from here, I'm gonna let my bobbin hang. I'm gonna go to my next material, which is gonna be this, we call it rib. And this is a very like classic salmon fly style ribbing. I have it in silver. It's kind of a round material. My suggestion when tying it is we have a whole lot of it here. I'm just gonna take off like a few inches. I'll snip it. I'll try to uncoil it a little bit. But with this specific material we have in your kits, this ribbing, if you tie it in right at the very tip, it's gonna want to like unbind, and we don't want it to do that. So I'm gonna leave a little bit of extra space out the front because I'm gonna trim it. And if I tie it in back a little ways, you're gonna find that it won't wanna unravel on you, which is what we're kind of hoping to get out of this. So I'm gonna leave a little bit there. Same kind of thing, I wanna tie this in somewhat on the near side of the fly. And this will make sense a little later as to why that is. So if it's not on the near side, I'm gonna wrap it around, pull it towards me. When I say near side, I mean towards myself, so towards the tire. I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna put a couple more wraps in it, and I'm gonna take it right back to where I left, or where I tied in my tail. What I don't wanna do is over thread wrap rearward, because then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna tip that down, and it's gonna lock it down deep, and I don't wanna do that. I wanna kinda keep that tail where it is. So I'm gonna leave that right there. Take a few thread wraps forward. And I'm not worried about that bump at the back because again, I'm gonna put dubbing forward on this one and hackle. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna trim that off, get that out of the way. And I'm just gonna make sure that that's secure by driving some thread wraps into it.
All right, secure that up if you would, that'd be great.
It's secured.
And what I wanna do is just hit up one of these comments here that says something about, so everybody's got that secured. We're at a good spot to just let your thread hang. And the comment says something about, as the night goes on, Tim looks a little more like Joy Bear.
What? Oh man.
So so I just thought,
who said it? Who said
Scooter?
Scooter.
So I just thought, hey,
Bro.
there's no better thing to do than in the moment pull up some shots.
What do I gotta do? I gotta pull this back. You got a hair tie? I just want, the bang dangle. That's what I want. Just the bang dangle.
I just thought, hey, while we're here, there's no better thing to do than let everybody. Are you on The View? Are you on The View? Let us know.
Let's go.
Let us know. It's so funny.
Now I'm all self-conscious, guys. Jeez.
No, you don't gotta be.
Maybe I gotta show more cleavage. That would does that help?
She's not showing any.
Well, that's the point.
Just find
let's
these.
move past this point. How much plastic surgery? That's all I want to know.
All right, well.
Jeez. Okay, let's get back to what we should be focusing on, and not that. Okay.
Right, I've just hit up a terrible playlist, so I'm going to get it before the night's over, boys.
You don't have
girls.
much time, but you better. Okay, so let's go. Let's refocus here, guys. So another little thing, you're not going to be able to see it currently, but what is a material clip? Okay, now there's different things you can do. You could have a clamp. Some guys will clamp like on their vise, whatever you want.
Hey, Mr. Riley's here.
What's up, Mr. Riley? Yo, fellas, what's up?
Mr. Riley was hit hard with the fires down there.
Oh, not
in
good.
Palisade.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So
saw his football stadium, half of it was burnt.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's sad. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, excuse me. Material clips. What they do, their advantage of. So it's like a little coil that's over here, just out of the view of the camera, but it's something I can stick my material in, especially this one that's kind of coiled up. It's nice to just keep it out of the way. So it's just this little spring here that's on my vise. You probably have on most vices come with them. If you can just get some of these materials out of the way, you're gonna find that when you're working with the next material, it's very advantageous to just have it out of the way. And we're gonna be teaching a few techniques now that are new to this season, not new to the previous seasons, but for those of you who are new, we're gonna teach through some things, and I'm just telling you, if you can get that out of the way, even if it's a hair clip or something you can clamp onto your vise, just get that stuff out of the way. For the next stages are gonna be a little easier. Okay, next material. We're going to our dubbing. Excuse me. Got this black dubbing, else could be possum, beaver, could be whatever. It's what you want on this one is not a very long stranded dubbing. So on this one, you can see if I pull it apart, it just breaks really easy, and they're not long fibers. That's kind of what we're going for here. And we don't need a ton. You probably have enough here in your kit to tie like 50 of these flies. Now we're gonna be doing what's called a dubbing noodle. So this varies from what we did last time. On the last fly, we did a dubbing loop. This one's a noodle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab just a little pinch. I'm gonna stick my finger on my thread with that little bit of material. And yes, he's gonna play a song, but we gotta split this and go in one direction. That's what makes you beautiful. There it is. I find that a little lick on your fingers or a little bit of dubbing wax is gonna help on your thread. And when I spin this in now, I can get it to spin nice and tight, and I'm spinning again in just that single direction so that I get this nice tight dubbing loop. And there's nothing complicated about it. It's just I have to spin one way. If I go both, if I kind of go back and forth like this, it's gonna unravel itself. So I need to have enough there in the right way. I can't even get away with saying in one direction. but in one direction so that it's gonna tight and rope. Just like we did with the dubbing loop, we're trying to create a little rope. It's just on this fly, it's a much smaller rope, so we don't need to do the dubbing loop. I'm left with something like that. I got about 2.5 inches, maybe 6, of what a dubbing loop should look like. And we're gonna now just slowly wrap this forward, okay? We want a little bit of a bulbous body to this because the hackle is gonna kind of pinch down on that dubbing as we go. This might work out to be just about right. And I think I saw Dean in there. He talked about, I tried this one already and I really crowded the eye. I can't emphasize enough, leave some space. You can see that my dubbings only come forward. I've left that full eye length away from the eye because it's just easier to wrap that hackle, the last hackle at the end, with a little bit of space. So I've left myself a little bit of room. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our first hackle of this fly, and that's gonna be our rooster. Okay, we're tying with a hen for the head, but for this one, then we have this rudel. We have a rooster saddle hackle, okay? Now, the one that's in your kit is super long. My suggestion is cut it right in the middle, okay? You got lots of flies that come out of this, probably more than the 5 we talked about. Now, on the butt end that I just cut, looks something like this. I'm gonna come in here, and I'm gonna strip down a few fibers off the back, okay? Stripping those down, exposing that stem for the tie-in, okay? Now, we've talked about this with hackles before, but there is an underside and there is a top side to a hackle. So on the underside, it's gonna look concave and it's gonna look a little dull in color, and the other side's gonna look shiny. We want that shiny side to be facing towards the front of the fly. So when I tie that in and I start to wrap it back, the dull side is gonna be going rearward, because when feathers are going in, they have that concave shape, and we want the hackle to almost point rearward as we go back. We don't want it to stand up super tall. So I'm gonna tie this in right here, get a good gathering wrap onto the hook shank. I'm gonna secure that down first in front. I'm gonna make sure I pull that stem out of the way so I'm blocking your view, and then I'm gonna get a few thread wraps in front. Now I have taken some thread wraps down to the eye. Not concerned about that at this point, but we left some space so we could secure this stuff. Once I do that, I can go ahead and trim out that stem, and then I'm gonna make a few more thread wraps back so my thread is right where my dubbing kind of ended, okay? Now, this technique that we're gonna use is very similar to a very basic fly that we've done I think 2 times on the show now, called a bugger, okay? So I'm gonna wrap my hackle back, and I'm gonna use my my ribbing to secure the hackle as I move back forward. It's a very unique but traditional style of securing hackle or other materials. You're using another material instead of your thread to secure the hackle itself. Now, like we said on the last fly, that save button, I'm gonna throw in a half hitch right here. It's a little overhand granny knot over the hook shank. Gonna tighten that down, and then I'm gonna get my thread out of the way. Now I can start working with my hackle. So I'm gonna start wrapping rearward. Now there might be a question, do I wrap one direction or the other? Do I go over top? Oh my gosh. I think he's trying to set a record tonight. It doesn't matter which way you go. The only thing that matters is that when I grab my rib and I come back the other way, that I'm gonna go the opposite direction that I came with the hackle. So for myself, I'm gonna come and start this way. Now I want you to do a full wrap all the way around before I start moving rearward. So one full wrap, and then we're gonna open wrap back down the fly. And it should take probably 2 or 3 turns to get all the way back. And we want this hackle to go, kind of got to work around that hook or the hook point. We want it to end basically right back against where my ribbing is. And for me, and my suggestion is to come all the way around and finish with your hackle pointed straight up. Now you kind of got to get a little bit good with your hands here, because I'm going to have to reach over with my other hand and grab my ribbing. And now I need to go.
Do you ever reach around the fly and grab it?
Once, only for good buddies. I need to get that. How do you refocus? Sip a beer. Okay.
Dave Spencer's in the house.
What's up, buddy? Oh, so good to see you. Hear from you. So I've wrapped one way. Now I have to take my ribbing. Hey, I didn't say it. Don't do it. I saw him reaching for the button. Now you have to go the other way with your first wrap of your ribbing. Okay, so I went one way with the hackle, and now I'm gonna go the other way with my ribbing. Now the very first wrap is the most important because that is what's gonna initially secure. Now as I take this ribbing forward, I also have to wiggle it back and forth to try not to trap too many of those hackle fibers down. So my first wrap is gonna be right at the back. I'm gonna start to wiggle. Okay, so if I the good way to try is to take tension off of the hackle feather, and you're gonna see whether or not I have it tight. Because if it's not tight, it's gonna try to unravel. It's tight. Now I need to keep pressure on that ribbing as I start to wrap forward. Nice open spiral. You're gonna probably get 3, maybe 4 as you move forward. Again, you're wiggling back and forth. Try not to trap too many of those hackle fibers. Now, once I get up here to the front, I'm gonna bring my thread back. And if my thread isn't already right up against the hackle, I need to take it back a little ways. And now I'm gonna trap that ribbing. And again, this is a very important stage because me locking in the ribbing is then locking in the hackle. So I'm gonna take this, thread wrap behind, lock it in, thread wrap in front. I'm gonna do that one more time. Thread wrap behind, thread wrap in front. And I've still left myself a good space to work with my front hackle, okay? So then I can come in here.
Are you at a good spot? Because a couple questions came up.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Travis wants to know if I'm your good buddy.
You are.
And the other thing is, I think that there has been a request for K-pop.
Oh, well, it would be an improvement, yeah.
So this is the time of the night. Whenever we go overtime, we crush K-pop.
K-pop.
So we're 5 minutes into what we should have been 5 minutes ago for K-pop.
And for those of you who don't know, the K in K-pop is Korean. So if you ask for Korean K-pop, it's like
it's not. It's
a double
redundant.
entendre. I want Korean K-pop. So if that's a thing.
Why? Hopefully this was better than.
Okay, guys, we're almost there. We got one more hackle to go.
Good.
Oh, look at that. Look at you with all your little stickers up there. K-pop. This is for you, Aaron.
Every time we go overtime, it's straight to K-pop.
Straight to K-pop. Okay, that's a good rule. It's a good rule.
Just not finding great K-pop. Come on,
Yeah,
there's got to be one.
There's got to be one in here. It's so broken. That music.
Yeah, dude, I'm bad tonight.
It's not you. When you search for bagpipes and you get string instruments.
I didn't even get a string. It was a flute.
It was a flute. Oh, it's brass. Brass instruments. At least it wasn't the clarinet. Okay. All right, guys, don't forget, if you need help, if you need me to SOS, drop it in the comments so we can pause at any point. That's the point of this. This is your time. It's great that you can go watch the quick ties, but I can't interact with you on the quick ties in real time. So if you have a question, this is the time. Okay, so anytime in the fly, just stop me. We've got the ribbing secure. Okay, that was the big important thing here. Now we can go ahead and we can trim that out.
Well, this isn't English, so we're doing. Maybe we're.
Oh no, that was Spanish.
Can I get Spanish K-pop?
It's called S-pop.
I want G-pop. You got some German stuff in there?
I just want K-pop.
Oh man, this is just wild. Okay.
I think I'm in.
You're in
Okay,
it?
finish this fly
Okay, let's
because I
finish
know
it.
you've got the hardest part coming up.
I know, this is nasty. I want to trim out that little hackle we left in there. Again, at all times in this fly when we're trimming and cutting and doing all sorts of things, we want to try to prevent locking down fibers, trimming out fibers. We want to leave as much of this in here as we did. We put all that effort into tying it in. Let's try to leave it in there, okay? Now we're coming to the last stage. We got a hen feather, okay? Something in ginger, blonde. That's what we're kind of aiming for with this pattern. We want the fibers of the front hackle to be longer than the fibers of the black hackle, and that's just because it's going to encompass it and it's giving it that streamlined kind of vision in the fly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to expose just the very tip, okay, of the feather. I'm going to turn it again just like I tied in the last one. I want the underside or the dull side of the feather pointed rearward down the fly. For when we wrap this, all those fibers should try to angle backwards. So I'm gonna come in here again, thread wrap in front, nice and tight. I'm gonna pull that little front portion forward and again, drive some thread wraps in front, go back behind again. Now I wanna grab this hackle and give a tug. If that tip doesn't move or slide, I know that I'm locked in. And then I can come in here and I can trim out that tip section. Now, if you've got some hackle pliers, this is gonna be probably your best friend here when we start to wrap this last hackle forward. I'm gonna throw another half hitch in, save button. We got those wraps, we know it's secured. Now let's just double check it. Come tight on it. I'm gonna get my thread out of the way so I can focus on wrapping this forward. Now these fibers aren't always gonna cooperate and it's not always gonna look good until I finish the head of this fly. So don't overthink that. We're not gonna do much here. We're gonna do 1 to 3 wraps max. 3 would be an absolute max on this fly because we don't wanna overdo it with this front hackle so that it kind of takes away from the rest of the fly. So I'm basically gonna do 2.5. I'm gonna come up vertical and I'm trying to pull those fibers rearward so that they're not stacking too much in front of each other. I'll bring my thread wrap back in. I'm gonna come up over top, try to get my thread in front of as many fibers as possible, get a thread wrap behind, a thread wrap in front, and repeat the process. Behind and in front. Pull everything back, as much of the fibers as you can back, even with that tag end in there, and I'm gonna start to build the head of this fly. Mostly what I want is that to be 100% locked in so that it's not gonna come unraveled on me. And we are gonna leave on this fly, we're gonna leave a decent head. So we're kind of creating a taper to that head. I'm driving some thread wraps back up over top that tag end of the hackle, okay? I'm left with something that looks like this for now. I'm gonna come in here and trim out. Again, doing your very best not to trim out any of the actual wraps we put in there. We're gonna be left with something like this for now. Again, pull it rearward. Make sure that the butt end of that feather we just trimmed is locked in with our thread wraps, okay, which looks like it's pretty good there. Gonna do a few more wraps just to make sure. And hopefully those wraps have fully encompassed all the way around the hook. We don't want them all on top. We don't want them all on the bottom. We wanna encompass it all. Gonna use that nice little bit of head to control that. Now I'm gonna come over to so we talked about the whip finish tool, now we're gonna talk about the half hitch tool. Okay, this is a half hitch tool. It's just anything that's got a little bit of a hole on the end. This is a specific half hitch tool. It's just a little tube. Now I'm gonna lay that on my thread. You could whip finish this as well. I just find with these smaller flies, it's a little easier to use the half hitch tool. And I am gonna use resin on this fly, so I'm not super concerned about not having the best knot. I'm gonna set my half hitch tool on top of my thread. I'm gonna wrap twice, put it over the eye of the fly, use my finger to assist, slide that thread down, and lock it in. Great knot. We'll do it twice. Locked in. Make sure that's tight. And then we can come in here and trim out this thread. Just like that, set my thread aside. Now I like to come in here with my Velcro again and just sometimes those fibers of the hackle will stick to themselves and this will help them open up all the way around the fly. Making sure they're kind of evenly spread, something like that. It's hard on the bottom because you have the hook point, but not too bad. And then I'm gonna come in here with my resin. And you guys have heard me talk about it before, but I definitely recommend, if you haven't tried it, go get yourself some Bone Dry by Solarez. It's a very thin UV resin. Most UV resins are quite thick. This one's very, very thin. It soaks into thread wraps really well. And with cutting, let's say if I'm cutting material or whether I'm putting on resin, a little tip and trick is to put one finger on the vise like this, then I use my thumb to brace and trim. It gives me a lot more control. I got 2 points of contact before I cut. Same thing with my resin. I'm gonna come in here so I can control where it goes, put my thumb on it, add a little bit of resin onto those thread wraps, not overdoing it at all, a little bit on the bottom, a little bit on the top. Don't wanna fill that eye of the hook with resin.
Oh yeah.
I'm good at that sometimes. And then we cure it, and there we got Resina.
Resina dancing for the
girl.
folks at home, for the good folks. Back in the 9 o'clock to 9:13 is K-pop hour. And you ever want the show to go overtime? Well, you just hang out here, and we will throw in the K-pop. I'm not sure if I got any K-pop, but
That's all right. We're
Troy.
pretending.
Who's Troy telling me what I do or don't have?
And there you have it, guys. The Kate McLaren Wet Fly.
Wow, you did it, Tim, and it didn't. That's
didn't
your
fall
best
apart.
one. That's your best one.
It always works out that way. But
best one.
it's a great point to point out because a lot of times on the show, I almost wish more flies would fail for you guys, for me, because I'm human. Not every fly looks perfect. This isn't perfect. It's good. But don't get discouraged by a fly flopping. We all do it, and we do it a lot. But the best thing you can do is this fly is better because I've tied 10 before. The more you do, the better they're gonna look. And I suggest you just tie a lot of them. And if it's a pattern and that's the beauty of this kit, is you get to try out different patterns. And if this pattern just strikes a chord in your mind, like I know a place that's gonna work, or I wanna try it, don't stop at one, tie a dozen, tie 2 dozen, and then take them and fill your boxes and take them to the river, because that's how you're gonna get good at tying. And even if it's a technique that's a little different than you're used to, try it and go at it, and it's gonna help your skill level as a tyer grow. It has me, and I've used that advice from others that have given it to me. Just tie more than one. That's all I can say. And the beauty of your kit is you're gonna get at least 4 or 5 out of it, and you're gonna get a really good try at a pattern that you think you might like. So,
question: is there a way to get the tip on the Solares to be more pointy and finer?
it is. So, for instance, this one right now, if you look at it, okay, it's a little broader. If you if you stick this in your microwave, no more than 30
Don't
seconds.
Don't worry, Claude and Colleen aren't here. They're in
know.
Hawaii.
They think that I ruined their microwave.
Yeah.
But I just did it the other day. If you stick it in your microwave for 30 seconds, any UV resin, it thins it out.
I think they were 300 seconds.
Yeah. But the key is to it, you don't want to leave the cap on it. Take the cap out, even if it looks thick and grummy. Put this in the microwave for 30 seconds.
Grummy?
Grummy. What, is that the wrong word?
It's a new word.
It's a new word. We'll take it. Then stick it, once you heat it up, the bottom of the jar of this stuff, stick the tip back in, and it'll come out super thin and ready to rock. It's actually just an amazing product.
Yeah.
It'll last for years if you just keep doing that. So
I think he was wanting to know, like, the brush puts on too much.
Yeah.
And so he uses bodkin to
yep.
kind of do something like that.
Bodkin is great.
Another thing that you can do is I want to focus on me. There it goes. It just really annoyed me. What was I going to say about that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Aaron's right, though. Bye-bye brush if the cap stays on. You'll destroy the brush if you put it in the microwave.
Yeah. So what you can also, another thing, so you get resin in your eye. Do you have a feather or something you can just throw in there and show what you do? If you get, you can even do it, pull it through, dries it out, cure it.
So here's a little tip even beyond this. I learned it from a tyer I watched a long time ago. Keep a pad of Post-it notes on your desk. And you can slide materials in them. And I do this on my personal desk. I have a feather that I always leave. And I leave it in that Post-it note underneath one of the leaves so it's stored. So you can always just reach in there and pull it out. If you're tying multiple flies and you have another piece of material like that ribbing, stick it in there. You know where it is. But with this, all I'm going to do is come into the eye.
What are you going to do again?
Yeah, I'm just going to stick this right here.
Just come into the eye.
So if I had a bunch of resin in the eye.
Everyone's favorite spot.
Yeah. If I had a bunch of resin in the eye of the fly and I stuck that feather in there and all I do is grab it and pull it through, like a flash, that resin's gone.
He doesn't do that for the flies. He ties me, but it's a handy little tip for the flies.
I prefer degrading resin.
Tie yourself.
But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the Kate McLaren fly. I hope you got through it. And don't forget, because we love seeing it. If you've tied it up,
well, and show what we got. Your stickers are right there. So if you tie up, this one would be what would this one be considered?
I go streamer. Yep.
Streamer. This one's under the streamer category. So if you tie, you should grab your other mic. If you tie up all the flies, the nymphs, the dry flies, the streamers, the hoppers, the foam, you're going to be a part of the elite group, Streamer Supreme. So this one we're considering a streamer. So if you tie up all the flies this year, we've got a bunch of accolades and a bunch of milestones that you will hit when you tie all the flies. And you're going to get these stickers. We'll send them out to you. This one's the Nymph Master when you tie up all the nymph flies. So we had 2 last week, and this one this week is not a nymph, although you could use it, but
You could.
the Surface Specialist. So when we get into the dry flies, that one there will be yours if you tie up all the dry flies. And this one here's the Foam Fanatic. So tie up all the foam flies and you'll hit the milestone of Foam Fanatic, and we'll send you that sticker out. You'll be a part of an elite crew, and if you tie all the flies this year, you are going to be a Season 7 legend. Now imagine your fly tying box or your cooler with all these 5 stickers everywhere. And you can tell your friends, you can tell your grandma that you are a Season 7 legend, and there's only one way to get it. It's to tie all the flies. And we've done 4 so far this year, and we've got 22 more to go. Lots of time, folks, and
Get them done. Get them
that's
done.
that. We forgot to jump into this.
Oh, bacon cam.
There's a bacon cam. We forgot to make you guys excited. Me and my friend over here. What's her name again? Well, this one here is straight from the archives. That is a googly pie.
Googly eye pie.
Yeah, it's like
It's like mud pie.
it's like Spanish pop, but it's Korean pop, S-pop.
Yeah, sex in a pan.
That's good stuff.
Many
So,
layers.
anyways, if you want to eat that, you got to bake it.
Yeah.
It's just obvious.
Or you buy it.
Sometimes you buy it, you just Google it. Whatever you got to do, that's fine.
Yeah. Amazing.
This
You
point
can't screw up the
of
music
the
now.
show- I know, it's only a playlist. That's
the
what
best.
the best part is we've finished being goofy. We've finished tasting beer. We finished tying flies, and we just have to turn the couch guys' microphone on so that they can be a part of the show. The final segment of the show after overtime, 20 minutes. We didn't.
That's actually not bad.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So on this part of the show, if you're new here and you're still here, well, we congratulate you because this is the best part of the show, and we save it to last because before we officially end the show, we would like you guys to share your wins. And what is a win, Tim?
What is important now? And that doesn't have to mean a positive thing. It could be something that you're struggling with. It could be anything in your life that's important to you at this moment.
Yeah. It's just some positive vibes, folks. We'll share with you guys what our wins were for the week. Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're just we had a great meal tonight. And then you guys share your wins, and we'll throw them up on the screen there, and we'll read them out. And it's just kind of a moment that we celebrate together as a group before we head off into our week, our Friday, our weekend, because it's a whole week before we get to gather again. So it's very important that you guys stick around, share your wins. And having said that, we're going to go Mr. Ken first.
You're up.
Oh, first, eh? My win is this. You know, I've had a great week at work, finally. Eased off a little bit, but this is just the cap of it all. You know, getting to hang out with some great friends, great people, having a great night. Unfortunately, one of the 3 beers wasn't great, but...
that was good.
Ours are all good.
Mine were all good.
I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, this is awesome. This is the win of the week for sure. Hanging out with great buddies, being healthy, feeling good, stress relief off of work. All is good. Love people, catch fish.
Before we pass it off to Troy, you did your first guided trip this summer. Why don't you tell us about that?
It was awesome. I had the opportunity, thank you, Dana and Fly Fishing Outfitters, to let me do a guided trip with a couple of guys, father and son. And the best thing was they messaged me and didn't care about catching fish. They just wanted to have a great time and great day. And I'm pretty sure we accomplished that. We had a lot of great laughs, caught a lot of good fish. And man, if you get the chance, like guide school, Dana's advertising it, get on it. There's nothing better than rowing a boat down the river, and this is your job. That's it. You know, like people swinging a hammer, doing this and that. Guiding. Man, you're on the river, stress relief while you're working. Couldn't be better.
Awesome.
It's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
That sums it up right there.
Troy?
My win for the week is actually that I'm feeling better now. I got kicked with a bit of a flu or a cold or whatever was going down, and it put me down. So glad to be able to be back at work and almost back to 100%. But yeah, last week I couldn't make it down, but this week I'm glad I'm here. So yeah.
Timothy.
Well, I think my win this week is it's like hasn't been a bad week. Lots of good things happening and work is good and all those things. But things I cherish. So let's talk about our summer a little bit. Ken talked about guiding, and he is so right. Everything he nailed there. Your job is your stress relief. I don't think a lot of people can say that. But one of my biggest enjoyments of my summer is my friends. And Troy walks in today, and we're the three amigos. We live together all summer. You know, we're away from family and things like that are tough. But being together, like just the three of us hanging out for a couple hours today, like my soul needed it. And I'm super grateful for you guys. And
yeah, that was a little dinner that felt so familiar.
I know, right? We weren't cooking eggs, but somebody cooked us. Troy, and that's funny. I mean, Troy has got one of the most gracious souls. He makes us dinner a lot during the summer, and if he's off the river before us, you better believe he's got something prepared. And it's just those little things that you get detached from when you get into your winter life, and it might sound foreign to you when you have a similar job throughout the year, but for those of us who work seasonal guide work and then go into something else in the winter, just like you feel super grounded coming back to your people. And I'm grateful for you guys.
Beautiful. We're grateful for you too, Tim.
Absolutely, we are.
Yeah. I think not a specific thing, as I'm trying to rack my brain all week. What's fun about this is that because you know that you're going to have to report to the squad next Thursday, everything you do all week, you start thinking like, is this my win? Is this my win? And you kind of challenge yourself to like do a little more, live a little more, think a little deeper. And I just think that like and I bring it up a lot, but like TNL, and just to think the fact that we get to sit here on a Thursday, a whole bunch of you guys tune in, and I get nervous sometimes because I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do or where it's going to go. And I'm staring at the clock here all the time. Like, are we on schedule? And then I just realized that there's no schedule and we're just tying some flies, drinking some beer and having some fun. And I just feel very, very honored or very lucky that that we get to show up here every Thursday. And to add to that, it's that you guys show up, and it's like, it's a commitment. It is to be here for Thursday Night Live. And I see people tune in late and they're like, I'm so sorry I was late. And it's so cool because I mean, if you didn't come, it matters, but it's like, you're not in trouble. But I just feel this really cool thing where everybody feels this commitment to the TNL fam, that we show up, we engage with each other, we share our wins. It's just kind of this fun check-in that we all do. And I notice and I see some people who have just tuned in and they haven't tuned in the last couple episodes. And it's like, hey, good, they're all right? Because one of these days somebody's not going to tune in and we're going to find out that they're no longer with us. And it's just like really fun to know that we all check in for 3 months every Thursday night and just share time together. You know, the bond is fly fishing, but it's bigger than that. It's a good group of people who care for each other, and I truly mean that because I watch your guys' comments. But that's just a win. It's again just this realization that we're sitting here in our studio that somehow we built because the show was an idea that came to fruition, and you guys showed up every single week. Trevor, congrats.
Yeah.
Although
Congrats,
the wizard
buddy.
wasn't happy. Gary, thanks for your tips to close door 9. I don't know how you know that. I don't know how you know that, but yeah.
He works in tech.
Again, apparently this tech.
I think a great example of that in our TNL family is Brent Struthers, who reached out to us this week.
Yeah.
He's like, hey guys, it's
Blue
it's
Monday,
Blue
yeah.
Monday. Just want to check in, see how you're doing.
Yeah.
And Brent's someone we met through TNL, and he's become a
100%.
close friend and doing trips. But it's like, it's important to touch in with your friends, to touch in with your people. And if this is the only opportunity in a week for you to touch base with your virtual friends, it's important.
Well, and it's more than virtual. It's there's a deep connection, and I watch in the TNL chat, and people that didn't tune in or they didn't tie their flies, and they're tying their flies, and they're reporting to the group that they're doing it, and it's just fun to see the group come together and
family.
It is. All right, you guys. The TNL fam.
Let's read out your wins.
I think there might have been somebody leave early.
Cole.
Hey, Cole was the first I saw you.
Cam left early too, but okay, I'll start off. I got a bounce, was late. I'll be able to replay squad. My win this week is finally feeling back to 95%. It's been since mid-December. Felt good enough to start working out again too, which has been nice. Love you all. See you next week.
Roger, gonna check out early. Caught a bug this week, feeling crappy. So good night, TNL fam. See y'all next week.
Yeah, go ahead, Troy.
I was bummed all week that I missed last week, and was worried my meetings tonight would keep me from making it tonight. The win is I made it to share the rest of my evening with my great friends at TNL.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
what
it.
I talked about.
The draw.
That's it.
Yeah.
Craig Jones, the guy who got me into this. Tying tonight with my kiddo. She completely nailed the flies for her 3rd time tying. Glad I got to spend some time hanging out with her this week. Busy schedules don't always allow for family time. Take care, TNL fam.
Heck yeah. Mikey Dumont, my win for the week is looking forward to this Saturday coming up to help my father-in-law get an old trailer that he converted into an ice shack for over the last 6 months out on the lake for some ice fishing.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Scotty Lorenz, my win is celebrating 20 years with my wife Tracy yesterday. She is 2-time cancer survivor, military helicopter pilot, and kick-ass mom. Best catch ever. Heck yeah, Scotty.
pretty epic.
That's wicked. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Scott.
No joke.
Win is being safe in the snowstorm. Wife had to drive into town for work, has a great friend she can stay with, and not have to face the worst drive back and forth from home.
Nice.
Stay safe.
Door number 9.
Mr. Spencer, seeing you guys on these podcasts brings close all my memories on the river with you boys.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Mr. Pape, my win is the Baltimore Ravens won the AFC North Division and headed into playoffs this Saturday. Go Chiefs, go. Dyslexia. I have a condition. Something is definitely
that's
up
funny.
there.
Trevor, my win, besides bingo, obviously, was spending time out cross-country skiing with my wife. The lack of snow last year made it hard to get out. It was nice to be out again. That's awesome.
Nice.
Say hi to her for us. Yeah.
Finally working in a direction, getting answers in regards to my daughter's knee injury. We have finally been referred to a specialist. Also lost one of my best friends 10 years ago. Yesterday I decided to tattoo number 9 in his honor.
Great.
Jeff, my win, our win.
Let's say his last name. It's very
Crap.
Scottish of you. Scrapfoot.
Crap.
Not crap. There's an F there.
No, crap. My win, our win. This right here, hanging out and listening to a great bunch of people. Interview on Monday went great. Lots going on, but found it important to stop everything and catch the show tonight.
Yeah.
Very worth it. Lots of great fishing lately, and life is moving in the right direction.
Heck yeah.
Good job, Jeff.
Augustin, my win is just being here with you all.
Adrian, my win, had my first day off in 25. Made it for the wins and fly tonight. Feeling good and productive.
Nice.
Sam's happy and healthy, feeling good. OQP LPCF, and you both are appreciated more than you know. Thanks,
Love you,
buddy.
You can see above Ken and Troy there. OQP stands for Only Quality People. That's the OQP couch, because only quality people. That's the existence here.
Mike, my win this week was spending a day hiking with my mom. She is 72 years old, and I can barely keep up with her on the trails.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Mr. Riley.
You provide an outlet for your subscribers. You bring value to our lives.
Man, the
Thanks,
80s.
brother.
Remember when he was rap? We got to get him back.
West Side.
Riley, next Thursday, get on your stream or get on your camera, get in your studio. We got to have you on as a guest.
Yeah, we do. Long overdue.
100%. That was super epic last time. I think it's me, Hillbilly. Missed last week because we were driving back in a snowstorm from a great trip, spending Christmas with the family on Vancouver Island. First night back at the Vice tonight. This is my win for the week. Hanging out with you all tonight. What an amazing break from the crazy chaos of life. Thanks for the laughs. Man, I miss this. That's it again. I'm telling you. Thankful for you guys, the TNL family. Have a great week, everybody.
Josh, definite win. My wife, a little trout fitter's mom, super supportive, and although she won't touch a fly rod, she loves the view of creation that can only be seen from the seat of a drift boat.
That's awesome.
What an important thing. That's incredible.
Hello, my win. Still on vacation. Back to work on Monday.
Jerry, my win for the week is after much needed days away from the butcher shop over Christmas. After a long hunting season, is finally going back and getting to see the customers that provide us with lots of work and good friends.
Nice.
Nice, Jerry.
Mr. Mathis, the Tulsa King, is attended a cancer support group that has been on Thursday nights. They changed it to Tuesday because Dana gave them a call and said that, oh no, I added that. They changed it to Tuesday nights this year so I can sit through the entire fly tying seasons this season, hopefully. Oh, yes, you can. This is Round of Clicks for the new guy,
Yeah, Brendan,
Round
what's
of
up, buddy?
Clicks. Welcome, Brendan.
Yeah, hope you had an awesome night with us. He says, my win is having a wicked friend gift me season 7 this week. I'm a first timer and already looking forward to episode 3. I won't be on call, so I'll enjoy a pop in with you boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, Brendan. Who is it? Do you know who his friend was?
I think Bags, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's great.
Michael.
Barrett.
Welcome.
That's your
Hope the
that's your
family is
guy.
doing all good. My win is this section of the TNL this year to the new this year to the show, and the love shared is fantastic.
That's awesome, Michael.
Great to have you here, Michael.
Yeah, buddy.
Foodana.
Foodana.
I think you wrote a K-pop song. Foodana. Oh, Mr. Riley again. Ken.
Thankful for all the first responders who have been fighting the fires out here in Los Angeles. Many friends have lost their home in the LA fires. Peace to all you guys. I hope everyone makes it through safely.
There you go, Tom. Oh, I think his other win was seeing Joy Bayer on the show. Okay, I gotta
give her.
I'm up. Wins. Seeing a few more picture frames of the TNL fam sitting on their benches tonight.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the commercial just keep getting longer. LPCF, OQP, send a picture of you in your season 7 kit. I'm going to keep making that frame. If it's 20 minutes long, it's 20 minutes long. I don't care.
That's my favorite part of the show this year.
It's great,
Like, I
hey?
love it, yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
It's the real supporters. Yeah.
The mayor.
The mayor.
Barry, what's up, man? Our win, spending the last 38 years with my wife. 38 years ago, it was plus 25 degrees Celsius at 4 and snowing heavy by midnight.
Global warming.
It was steamy somewhere. maybe a trip to the local DQ for some ice cream tomorrow. Man, Barry, like, we love you, man, and I'm so thankful for you and your improving health and your wife's health. And 38 years, man, that's no joke. That's incredible.
awesome.
You're a
Very
true
awesome.
example. Yeah.
Round of clicks
Round
for
of
the dick
clicks.
house.
Yeah.
And that plus 25 degree night. It was not 25 degrees. It was -4. But the love in the air
Warmed it up.
Troy.
My win is making TNL this week, as I might miss the next 2. Sad about it, because I'll be fishing in Colombia.
Oh.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
My win
suck.
over the next few days will be tying big peacock and Pyara flies in prep.
Oh,
Nice.
jealous, man.
His
Very jealous.
His other one is not dying in a Tesla.
It's amazing he made it home.
I know this girl.
You should read
Matea's
that.
win for the week is going to the gym this week so early. This guy. She's up before me. Sometimes I might miss the alarm and she's there waiting, and that is truly
That's a great job.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't get my butt there anytime.
Yeah. But to just have somebody so like, yeah, love you teats.
Night, Dave.
Terry, my win would simply be the things that seem to be going really good. Still kicking with no complaints. Thanks for keeping the TNL entertaining and enlightening.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Jeff.
Clicks for the dick
Click
house.
for the
That's
dickies.
right.
Clicky for the dicky.
All right. And on that hot night, Charlie and Jerry were not just thoughts.
I just want to know, like, timing wise.
I know. Do tell. Well, Ken,
awesome.
Troy, Tim, thank you guys for driving down and yeah, thanks for
appreciate
being
it.
here with us.
Thank you.
If you guys, anybody wants to be on the couch, let us know. It's
Hot
usually
Sauce John, if
open
you're
till
listening.
it's not. Yeah,
It's
Hot Sauce
amazing.
John.
You guys all think that Dana just sits here while Tim ties flies and Dana does
No.
nothing.
He
He actually
runs
does
it.
stuff.
He drinks
He's
beer.
nonstop
Yeah.
on the computer doing stuff.
The music is great.
Yeah.
Guys, leave the
Mind you, I
music
don't think he
alone.
tried the music today.
Guys,
No.
leave the
It's-
music alone.
It's the right thing to say, Ken.
a
I'm
great
just
experience.
I'm just here to tie. This guy does it all.
I
It's
think,
incredible.
I think we all just have a small part, and it just makes a big part.
Yeah. Small
Something
parts,
like
big
that.
differences.
Something like that. Yeah. Most important part is that we can be here and be vulnerable with you guys. Tim with his tying. If you were to see some of the flies, it's not always great.
No.
And he's
That's why we practice.
he's one of the best because of that. Because hopefully you guys can relate to the humility, the humbleness, and that's kind of what we, hang our hats on with the show, is that things go wrong and we spill beer on the microphone. The music sucks and it is what it is. But yeah, we just want to kind of be a little bit of a reprieve from the world and gather people who are okay being not okay and sharing about it. So we'll see you next Thursday. We're about to officially close the curtain on season 7, episode 2, the Cape McLaren Wet Fly, the egg sucking leech. We tried 3 lovely beers tonight.
Yeah.
The Wee Bit Angry Scotch Ale, and from Born Brewing, the Lucky.
Yeah, that was great.
Cabin Brewing, the Saturation, super Saturation. All great beers tonight, and every week we're gonna keep trying more beers. We're gonna post them. If you're not a part of our Facebook TNL page, I highly suggest it, because that's where a lot goes on, information for the show, and we'd like you guys to go get the beer so you can try the beer with us to say we're full of it or we're bang on. That is not a paid promo by any of the beers.
No, we just like them. That's the best part. You don't have to. It's like,
we
it's
just
good.
say whatever.
Yeah.
Say whatever we
Sometimes
want.
they're going to suck. That's just what it is.
Sometimes they're great. Tonight was a banger night for beers.
It was.
And banger night for flies. Great job.
Thank you.
And banger night for the couch guys. They were troopers with the green screens. As if you
we have some photos to add to that commercial.
Yeah, well, if you to the commercial.
Please.
If you didn't see that part, you're gonna want to head over to the replay squad and check it out again. Quick ties will probably be posted tomorrow at one point. But for now, we're gonna close the curtain. on episode 2. And we got no cheesy taglines.
I got one though. I got 4.
Tim's got 4.
I got
but you
one
can't
for you.
use them all. They're all
I know.
for you.
I'll use the same one so I don't waste one. Okay.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
It's gonna be my new thing. I want you to keep your scissors steady, your resin ready, and your flies looking deadly.
Times and places are all in who you share them with, and it's life. And the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with. And the weeks and the weekends are keeping close who you spend them with. And in time, what you find is the time is who you spend it with. Joy is who you share it with. Who you share it with. Who you share it with. Yeah, now it's a moment, and a home is who you share it with. I believe what the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with.